Yes, family, live. So if you know what time it is, it's survive. Yes, family, live. Yourself, pick up yourself. Reach out and in on this gloomy afternoon. Reach out and in on this gloomy afternoon, family. It survives. Yes, family, large up yourself, pick up yourself, question the gods, sacrifice. Yes, that's what we're talking about this time. Yeah, dig. Had to come up with something quick to touch on, coming back to the question of the God series. I like that little series going right now. I like part 1, part 2, and part 3. Just like the God spell, you know what I mean? I may have to bring back the God spell, you know what I mean? But these things come off the top of the dome with direct inspiration, you know what I mean? Like the God spell, that shit just pew, it came out one day. Like, all right, do that. Same thing with question of gods. I'm like, all right, let's just do that. You know what I mean? We just moving as the Spirit moves us to do these things. Feel me? Feel me? What up, family? You know what it is. Your boy Selah, Shalom, chiming in. I see the righteous. Peace to the God. Dreadful cosmon, I see you, kid. See you inside of this chat yesterday and shit. Peace to the God. Awaken to the truth. Christian in the building. What you doing, sis? What it do, sis? What it do, queen? How you? It's a blood clot vibes. Yes, family, large up yourself. In my Rastaman voice. It's a blood clot vibe. Yes, family. Honor and humility. Yes, still in the building. Malachi Mack. If you would have been on Sunday the TV last night, my nigga, you would have had that bitch on fire. Feel it. Little money over there exposing Paul. Zariak over there trying to defend Paul. That would have been a perfect time for some whoop ass. Niggas going out here defending Paul. Do these niggas know Paul was goddamn slave master, nigga? Do these niggas know Paul was motherfucking slave master? Peace to the family. I'm gonna throw the link in the chat if anybody wanna hop in. Matter of fact, I'm tripping. Let me do this lecture first. Let me do this little presentation. It ain't no real presentation. It's just, I'm gonna touch on sacrifices. Question the gods about sacrifice. Y'all niggas out here sacrificing God type of things in the Bible under the authority of God. So we're gonna question the gods on these sacrifices. Yeah, man, let's vibe out still. You know what I mean? We're coming to it. We're about to get to it. You know how we do. You know how we do. Who we got in the building? Who in the chat? We got 15 in the chat. Get them lights up. Kila, I see you. BC, I see you. Exile, I see you. Matthew, I see you. Tabitha, I see you. What's good, family? Elijah, I see you, kid. Cedric, I see you. Nina, I see you. Yes, family. I see the family. I definitely see you. It's a vibes. Let's go to our commercial break, of course.
But the results are sweet. BittersweetHerbals.com.
Run that from the top, yeah.
Bittersweet Herbals. What it tastes is bitter, but the results are sweet. BittersweetHerbals.com.
Make sure to get your bitters as we move forward. As we move forward. You see that? You see that solar system? You see that sun in the center right there? When you look at the screen, you see that solar system? You see that sun? The sun is in the center. You see that border seas around it? We're moving forward just like that, family. Ascending. Going beyond. We up and out, fam. But I'm gonna roll our next split still. Bronze Yogi in the building. Peace to the God. Me and the brothers had a great build this morning. Me, Bronze Yogi, Cosmon, Cal, Malachi, Mac, and the whole Creek Gang family in the chat. And we're gonna have to add awaken to the truth. And you know what, Pam? That may be too much for Pam because she be having a lot of shit going on. And the way that goddamn chat be ringing out, she gonna be like, mute, cut this shit off. Y'all niggas is in my ear too much. On top of the kids too. Oh man, more frustration. Nobody on Sonetta want to see the gods or goddesses here. See, that's why I say Sonetta platform is the perfect platform for this shit, man, because it's a non-biased approach from him. He's the motherfucking, that's his shit. So he's the rightful judge to say what the fuck you want to say. And he don't believe in none of these theological books. But he'll give credit if it's making sense. And if you can support information outside the book that supports the book, he'll give you the credit. That's why when I did my presentation, notice he didn't have too much to say. Even when I went into the angels, you know he don't fuck with no angels and no shit like that. But the explanation and the presentation and the layout, referencing it with the earthly government, nigga ain't had nothing to say because we shown how the shit makes sense. We just ain't out here showing a God floating in space, creating heaven and earth in 7 goddamn days. And then now you got to question that, like, hold up, bro. You know what I mean? You questioning that shit because the shit ain't making no sense. So true indeed. What'd you say, sis? All the family is in the chat. You already know. Creative Gang family in the Billy. In the Billy. Let's get the vibe still going. I'm gonna have to keep the vibes going, yes? Keep the vibes going. Man, when I did my last video, I was looking at it and I was looking through the chat section and I didn't even know you were saying drop the link. I seen that shit yesterday when I was looking at the video. I was like, damn, man, my bad. I didn't even see that shit. Yeah, so Sonetta call us the OAHSPE boys. Oh shit, Sonetta call us the OAHSPE boys. So to answer that, you know what I mean? I don't know if that shit play. I want to get straight deep. Y'all know that Wiz Khalifa shit? We them boys. We them boys. Let me see if this shit will play. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to hear this shit, but if y'all can, let me know. I'm gonna play this shit for later. Hold up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, hold up. Let me know if y'all can hear this shit. I'm gonna share my screen. Sonetta say, Sonetta call us the OAHSPE boys. So in response to that, let me know if y'all can hear this. I ain't gonna play it long because I ain't trying to get striked and shit. Y'all know what the fuck going on. We them boys. We them boys. We making noise. All right, that's it, my nigga. That's the goddamn anthem right there for the OAHSPE boys right there. That Wiz Khalifa, we them boys, and we making noise, nigga. And that's what the fuck going on with the OAHSPE gang creative crew. OAHSPE boys, co-signed by Sonetta. We making noise, my nigga. We making so much noise that niggas don't even want to touch on this shit. When Cosmo Cal was on Sonetta the other day, that nigga Apostle was like, oh, get out of here with that OAHSPE. We don't want to hear that. Look how these niggas is flaking out like hoe-ass niggas, man. I bet you if it was a Quran, them niggas would have been like, yeah, invite that motherfucker. Let's challenge that Quran. If it would have been any other book, them niggas would have want to challenge the shit. These niggas are scared of the OAHSPE, bro. How the fuck you scared of a 33rd degree Mason who's a dentist and wrote the book through automatic channeling. Y'all niggas should be running through the motherfucking book, clowning it, disproving it, if it is what it is y'all say it is. But instead, like Apostle, niggas like, nah, get that book out of here. Why you, like JJ was complaining that one time, Sarnetta, why you keep letting these guys on here with that OAHSPE? Sarnetta like, nigga, the same reason I let you niggas on with that Bible, bitch, information. But look how these niggas is acting, bro. Who act like that, my nigga? It starts to ponder if these niggas is even real thorough niggas. Because thorough street niggas don't act like that. And they're not even going to show no fucking type of action and behavior like that. You'll never see me, Selah, Shalom, awesome. Nah, man, we don't fuck with that Bible. Y'all will never see me fold and flake like that, man. That shit ain't even in me to do no shit like that. But these niggas is running from a book, my nigga, a fucking book. You know what I mean? Cal P, stay on the next of them niggas, man. We them boys. That's the fucking answer we coming with. You did. Yes, family. We got some wheels in there. I don't even know how you do the wrench, man. I don't know how to do that wrench. I gotta go back and look. Well, you know, we used to have a wrench out there. Well, I don't know what the fuck happened. Yeah, I heard him the other night, but I don't think the topic, you should waste time on that topic. I think they supposed to be debating about Christ, some shit like, nah, man. Stay on the next to these fucking gods, my nigga. Stay on the next to these gods. Don't let these niggas catch you out there on them goddamn vague ass debates that ain't really effective. The only thing that's most effective is they fucking God, because it's they God that got them doing everything they do. So we on the next of these false gods. Then, chapter and verse from the Bible, from the OAHSPE. We not bending from that. That's the whole purpose of Battle of the Holy Books. We showing in the books. We showing in the books, family. Again, talking about questioning gods, because everybody that's doing what they do is based off their God. You know what I mean? Everything the Israelites do, their mentality, their behavior, who they hate, who they like and dislike, is all based off their belief in God. That's why you'll never see me wasting time debating about the tribes. This nigga's for that though. That's the beautiful thing about having a team. Because each nigga is sufficiently sharp in their area. When it comes to the gods, that's my department. I'm gonna tear nigga face off with the gods. You know what I mean? You want to deal with the biblical text, nigga, we'll shoot a Malachi Maccabee. I know the biblical text as well, but we'll shoot it to Malachi Maccabee. He's sharper at the part. See what I'm saying? Same thing with Cosmology with the gods on my end. Cosmology is most ferocious when he's dealing with the gods. When he's exposing the gods. That's when he's most ferocious. Same thing with me. Because that's the most important benefactor. These niggas is having debates over the gods. That whole shit with the first century with Paul and Rome, all that shit is over God. Christ is Lord. Christ came to Paul. Nigga had to change of hope, but they say Christ is Lord. They classify Christ as Lord. Some niggas say Christ is God. So like I say, all this shit is based off the belief in a God. Question the God. You say you couldn't question God, Joe? You ain't a robot. Creator didn't make you a robot. He gave you sound judgment to question all things, even the Creator. Niggas ain't ready for that, though. Ain't that right? As I roll up my spliff, I tell you. Zell, peace, fam. Zell in the building. I see the God. I see the God. I see the God. Finally checked out your music too, Sean. Nice shit, boy. And if you get that shit done and ready to release it, let me know. I'll throw that shit in the show. You know how we do. Let's expose these gods now, man. Let's expose these gods. Put my phone on me. It's a blood clot vibes. So the thing is, we're going to question the gods, right? About sacrifice. So I'm going to go back to the previous lecture I did, my presentation, and just skim through that. Skim through that joint about sacrifice. No doubt, kid. The offerings. Well, I'm going to leave that part out. I'll just put the offerings of burnt sacrifice of children as well. Now, the burnt offerings and sacrifice, along with children, who convinced people to sacrifice their children? What in your right mind will convince you to even think like that? And not only that, to actually act it out, carry it out. Who do that? Which one of you niggas gonna sacrifice your child because God said so? That's why we say question to God. Now let's look. This is Jeremiah 7:22 first. We're gonna start off with this first. This is a recap, but fuck it. For I spoke not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, concerning burnt offerings and sacrifice. So here, whoever's speaking to Jeremiah right here, whoever speaking here is letting you know that he ain't approve of that. Verse 31, and they have built the high places of Topheth, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to burn their sons and their daughters in the fire, which I did not command, nor did it come into my mind. So here is one particular God telling Jeremiah that I never commanded the Israelites to burn their sons and daughters, nor did I command them to do burnt offerings and sacrifice. So, this is supposed to be God talking. So if God didn't command this, who did? What is the opposite of God? Because the biblical believers believe there's only one God running around. The biblical believers believe there's only one Satan or the devil running around. That old serpent, the dragon, the devil. And in the Bible, the New Testament, God is one. The law is God is one. So if you got one God and one Satan. As far as the biblical ideology, when you think of Satan, you don't think of a multiplicity of motherfuckers. When you think of Satan and you think of devil, one person comes to mind. You don't think of a gang of people. You think of one. And according to the Bible, your belief is supposed to believe in the belief in one God. That's supposed to be your belief, according to the Bible. You're supposed to believe in one God. And then there was this one angel named Lucifer, or not even Satan, whatever word games niggas like to play, because Lucifer just means Venus, the bright morning star. But Satan fell from heaven. They saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. They ain't saying they saw a group of niggas. And even if you believe in the 1/3, he carried 1/3 of heaven with him. He's still one individual. He's the leader of that. So what is the opposite of God? If Jeremiah is telling you that God's telling Jeremiah, I ain't tell you niggas to do this. I ain't tell you to burn no sacrifices, no burnt offerings. I ain't tell you to burn your sons and daughters. But who told him to do that? This nigga right here. That's who told Israel to do that. Satan. Ain't no middlemans here. It's either God or Satan, according to the Bible. If you ain't following God, you following Satan, right? Satan is a god right here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the baby. Look at the little picnic getting taken. Them offer the picnic up to them God. Look at the smoke surrounding the God. Them burning incense. They burning animal fat. They burning guts. And the fire is going up around the God, while the God smells the aroma of the fried chicken and the pork and the bacon and the ribs, the spare ribs, the baby back, While the false god is enjoying the odor of that, here your ass goes standing on the altar, offering up your pick-me to the god. What you think this God about to do? I wish we would have had that picture when the nigga took the baby. What you think he would have did when he took the baby? That's the question. That's the question. What this God would have done once that baby is in his possession? What, he would have just started eating the motherfucker? Because the actual process of the sacrifice is done by the priest. So why are they giving the baby the God? Why the priest giving the baby to the God? Amos 5:25, 26. Have ye offered unto me sacrifice and offerings in the wilderness for 40 years, O house of Israel? But ye have bore the tabernacles of your Malach and Chiun, your images, the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves. This is Malach. This is Israel in the wilderness, offering up to this God. Question the gods. These niggas ain't questioning God. Look at this nigga right here. He just bow. Look at they bowing down. They just in obedience to God, instead of us saying like, "Yo, God, didn't you tell us not to kill and murder? You told me, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not kill. Now you want me to render up my sons and daughters as a sacrifice? And then you niggas is going along with it and not questioning the God?" That's why we say question the God. Because your God will have you doing shit like this in 2023. If you don't question your God, then they're gonna be like, "Yo, go give me a couple rams. Go give me a couple cows. And I want you to gut them motherfuckers and roast it. Burn it as a sweet savior." We'll have you niggas doing the same shit today. Look at Psalms 106:37. Whom they have sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. See that? Who you think they talking about? Who is they? Right there. Whom they? Who you think they talking about, Israel? You think they talking about the Hamites? You think they talking about the Jebusites? Huh? You think they talking about the Edomites, your worst enemy? The they is you, Israel. Whom they sacrifice unto the idols of Canaan. You niggas was offering idols to Canaan. Who is the God of Canaan? Look, it says idols. Gods are idols. I already showed that in the concordance, but let's do it like we always likely to do. Idols. See? L. And it's associated with idol. It has idols right here. The same way it says idols here. See that? Whom they sacrifice unto the Elohims of Canaan. See how that worked? See how that worked? Look at that. God, is associated with idols. So in return, we can use the term gods in this case. Whom they sacrifice unto the idols, the Elohims of Canaan. Yeah, they sacrifice their sons and their daughters unto devils. See that? Again, who is they, Israel? Who are they talking about? Y'all say Edom is the devil. You all say the Edomites is the white man, and the white man is the devil. Why is not this the Edomites, according to your ideology of the white man and the Edomites being the devil? Let's keep it biblical. The Edomites. It don't say, yeah, the Edomites sacrificed their sons and daughters unto devils. That would have made, your logic would have fit, it would have made way more sense if Edom was stated right here. Then we wouldn't even be arguing the fact. But the they that they're talking about right here is Israel. Sorry. It's not Edom. It's not cursed be Canaan. It's not Ham. It's not the Amorites. It's not the Jebusites. It's the Israelites. Yeah, the Israelites sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. Huh? Question the gods. How did you be able to be, how was you convinced? How was the devil able to convince you niggas to sacrifice your sons and daughters? Like, how does that work? How can somebody come to you right now and tell you, yo, sacrifice your sons and daughters? Not only I'm God, I'm the devil, and you do it. Yeah, the Israelites sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. Devils. Do we need to go to the Strong's Concordance? Matter of fact, let's see how that looks in the Strong's Concordance. So they're worshiping idols. Their God is an idol, period. Whether if they worshiping the goddamn God or the devil, both still falls in the goddamn form of idols. God is associated with goddamn devil. Idols. Let's go to Psalms. What's that? 106. Psalms 106. Damn, Psalms huge as a motherfucker. Yeah, we curse. We curse over here. Ain't nobody perfect. We still gonna bring this truth out, whether you like it or not. Now, let me hit that concordance. Oh, this ain't the New Testament. So, let me hit that concordance. That's Strong's. Let me hit that Strong's. Now we gathered in the blue letter, since everybody loves the blue letter Bible, the blue letter. Y'all need to stop fucking with this blue letter and get you this goddamn big blue OAHSPE. And come on home to the fold. Because creator's over here. Ain't none of you niggas got the creator. That's why we exposing this information to show you that your Bible is not creator-based, but it's deity-based. Everything in your Bible is dealing with the deities and not one reference to creator. Yeah, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. Devils. Let's hit that Strong's Concordance, see what they're talking about. When you hit devils, it said. Look what it say. Demons. You niggas was worshiping demons in the land of Canaan, Israel. Demons. Show me Edom worshiping demons in the land of Edom, according to the Bible. So a devil is a demon. And it has a root. Let's continue to follow the root. Sud, a primitive root, means to destroy, devastate, to ruin. A primitive root, properly to swell up, figuratively, by implication. Devastation, waste. So a demon is a motherfucker who devastates, waste. But showing you that the reference, the Strong's Concordance, is letting you know these niggas dealing with devils and demons. Devils and demons. And here go the devils and demons right here. And then it says what? Let me go to verse 38. And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters. And the land was polluted with blood. See that? The land was polluted with blood. Malachi Maccabee. What verse was that in Numbers? Numbers 35, where it talked about the pollution of the land. Numbers 35. I forgot what chapter and verse, but I remember Numbers 35. I think it was Numbers 35. Let me see. What's that verse? Numbers 35 what? I'm at. What verse that is? See, we're gonna have to examine this goddamn Numbers 35. This shit here saying a lot of shit. All right, there we go. I found it, King. I found it. Boom. So check it as a precept to what we just read. This is Numbers 35:33. in reference to what we just read right here in Psalms 106:38, where it states in Psalms in verse 38, and shed innocent blood, even, matter of fact, let me start from the top. Whom they sacrifice unto the idols of Canaan, yeah, the sacrifice of their sons and their daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters. And the land was polluted with blood. This is supposed to be the promised land now. This is supposed to be the land promised to Abraham. And this is what's going on in the land. This is the cursed land of Abraham. It cannot be the promised land with this level of defilement going on. Again, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters. And the land was polluted with blood. Now, as a precept to that, coming back to what Malachi referenced the other day, Numbers 35:33, so shall ye not pollute the land wherein ye are. What land wherein ye are? The land of Canaan. For blood it defiles the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that sheddeth. So the land is defiled if you shed in blood. Huh? Look, what does it say right here? That's the key point. One of the key points in the sentence. For the blood it defileth the land. Oh, yeah, like that. For the blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood. Huh? For the blood it defileth the land. What they doing over here in the land? And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters. And the land was polluted with blood. This cannot be the promised land anymore. It's the defiled land of Abraham. Them niggas God then went from promising Abraham the promising land, telling Moses the land that flows with milk and honey. And by the time they get the goddamn land, these niggas done cursed the land, defiled the land. That which is supposed to be flowing with milk and honey is now flowing with human blood. Huh? This is what's going on in the land. Let's get some more blood in the land. Let's go back to Judges chapter 20 real quick. How these Israelites talking about they the chosen? Chosen to what? Chosen to goddamn kill and shed blood. Where am I at? Judges, all right. Judges 20. Come on now. Come on, yo. All this shit, what I'm reading is going on in the land amongst Israel. Where that shit at? Where them 18,000 at, nigga? You know where we going. Straight to them 18,000. Right there. Right there. Look at that. This is in the land. This is in the promised land. And Benjamin went forth again out of Gibeah the second day and destroyed down to the ground of the children of Israel again 18,000 men. All these drew the sword. 18,000 men. You know how much blood that is? Look at all that bloodshed in the land that's supposed to be the promised land flowing with milk and honey. Let me get that Bible verse where they talk about the shit flowing with milk and honey. That shit there where they talking about the land flowing with milk and honey and shit. Look at this, Exodus 3:8. So I have come down to deliver them from the power of the Egyptians and to bring them up from that land to a good and spacious land, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. So right here, let me get that in the strong, the blue. Let me get that in the blue. Everybody loves the blue letter. What's that? Exodus, what's that? 3:8? Exodus 3:8. Let's get that. Let's get that. Exodus 3:8. Exodus 3:8. There you go, fam. Look, let's read it from here now. Let's bring it into the fold, nigga. Come your ass into the fold over here. Let me bring you up here. Come into the fold. All right, so check it. Exodus 3:8. And I am come down to deliver them out of the land, out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land and large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites. So they letting you know, nigga, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites was living in a land flowing with milk and honey, meaning, nigga, that shit was luscious. That shit was luscious. Before the Israelites came into the land, this was the description of the land. It was what? It was what? A good land and large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. So he's like, yo, this land is flourishing over there. There's fruits over there. They got good rivers, or whatever the case may be. It's lakes over there. You got the Dead Sea, whatever the case may be. The Lord is letting you know that the land of Canaan is a good land, large, and it's flowing with milk and honey, meaning it's lustrous, it's nutritious up there, right? He ain't say it's a cursed land or a bad land and niggas over there shedding blood. So the Canaanites obviously was living in peace. If it's a good land, he ain't say they warred or nothing like that. It's only until the children ran up in there these niggas got the warring. Huh? So the land of Canaan was a good land before Israel ran up in there. Now this, and this is the promised land. This is supposed to be the promised land we're talking about. So now let's go to the promise of Abraham. That verse. See that. Genesis chapter 12, 1-3. Let's get that. All right. Genesis chapter 12, 1-3. Show you how I work. Genesis chapter 12, 1-3. Right here. All right. Let's bring your ass into the fold. So this is Abraham. We're going to come down the line of history. This is Abraham. Now the Lord said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land I will show thee. And I will make thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee and curse them that curse thee. And in this shall all families be blessed. Boom. So we scoot down. And Abraham took his wife, Sarah his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came. So they in the land of Canaan. And the Lord appeared unto Abraham and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. And there build he an altar unto the Lord who appeared unto him. So right here, you clearly have it that the Lord is giving the land to Abraham's seed. It says it right here. And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. Okay? So, from this time, the echoes in Abraham here, your hair is going to take this land. Is going to have this land. I take it, but I'm going to give your seed this land. Will I give this land? He ain't telling him how he going to give it, but it's the plan. And then by the time of Moses' time, coming later down the line of history, he's reinforced about the land because he states here, I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land, a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. See that? So it's being reemphasized in the time of Moses about the promised land. But By the time we get to the goddamn promised land, these niggas is doing this. And Benjamin went forth against them out of Gibeah the second day and destroyed down to the ground of the children of Israel 18,000 men. And this is now they in the promised land that was supposed to be promised to them, flowing with milk and honey. And this is what's going on in the land. They're defiling the land by shedding blood. That's what they're doing. So I'm showing you how the promise of Abraham turned into the curse of Abraham. The promised land of Abraham turned into the cursed land of Abraham. And we've shown you the evidence. We've shown you the evidence. You're sacrificing the devils and demons. So coming back here. And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters. And the land was polluted with blood. Numbers. For blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood. So the land cannot be cleansed. It's cursed. Y'all fucked up. Israel, y'all had the opportunity to take the land, but instead of, you didn't question your God. You didn't do what Abraham said. Nigga, prove to me that you God, so I may not err, for I have been commanded not to kill. Y'all niggas ain't give him the Abraham slogan. You ain't give him the forefather slogan. Instead, you niggas bowed your goddamn heads and went forth to war with the Canaanites, killing the Canaanites. They killing you, shedding blood, defiling the land in the name of your Lord God. Question the gods. Y'all niggas out here doing dumb shit because you thinking you following a creator and you following a false God. And what does verse 39 say? Thus were they defiled with their own works and went a-whoring with their own invention. See that? They're not talking about the Edomites. They're not talking about the Canaanites. They're talking about what Israel is doing in the land of Canaan. Now, keep in mind, by the time of the time of Moses, the land is described as being a good land and large, a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites. He ain't described no warfare. There wasn't no warfare going on in the land of Canaan before Israel got there. It's only when Israel got there, these niggas out here doing all these atrocities. Not only are they beefing with the Canaanites, but they're warring among themselves. I told you, the Israelites killed more Israelites than their enemies, the Canaanites. They killed 18,000 in one day right here. Where that? Right here. The second day. The first day, they did 20 and 2,000. This day, they did 18,000. 18,000 in one day. Can you imagine seeing 18,000 corpses? And these is not even your enemy? 18,000 bodies killed in one day, defiling the land on a catastrophic level. But this is the God they was worshiping. This is the devil. What does it say right here? What does it say in Psalms? And they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto who? Devils. Who was they? Who was they? Israel. Yeah. Israelites sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. And then not only did you sacrifice your sons and your daughters unto devils, but you spilt their blood and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters. Let's highlight that right there. Even the sons of their daughters. Even the blood of their sons and their daughters. Which one of you niggas gonna do that? Just to prove you obedient to God. Just to prove that you loyal to God. Which one of you niggas is gonna spill the blood of your children as an offering to these gods? But this is what the Israelites was doing in the land of Canaan, defiling the land, cursing the land. Now the land cannot be cleansed because of the Israelites' activity in the land of Canaan. God damn it, where the Edomites? Where the Edomites? Show me the Edomites defiling the land like this. Show me where it says right here, and Edom went forth against out of Gibeah the second day and destroyed down to the ground other Edomites, 18,000 men. Show me that. Show me Edomites that got 18,000 bodies on them. But Benjamin, which is supposed to be the West Indians, that's supposed to be me and shit. Y'all niggas got me out here looking crazy. I'm a murderer. I'm out here killing 18,000 niggas. And they say the Benjamites are the West Indians. That's what they say. The Benjamites are the West Indians. Nigga, I'm West Indian. Niggas out here slaughtering the children of Israel. Who the children of Israel? Don't that sound strange? And Benjamin went forth against the children of Israel. Ain't y'all supposed to be like, they got this shit looking like y'all niggas ain't even blood related. Y'all niggas is beefing like y'all not even blood related. Y'all beefing like y'all supposed to be warring with the Canaanites, the Jebusites, the Amorites. Them the bodies y'all supposed to be catching over there with them niggas. You ain't supposed to be killing, Benjamin ain't supposed to be killing the northern tribes like that. Y'all supposed to be killing the enemy like that. Y'all supposed to be catching the Canaanites out there like that. Y'all supposed to be catching the Amorites, the Jebusites out there like that. Y'all niggas is catching your own brothers, the northern tribe out there like that, defiling the land. Over for you niggas, man. It's over for you niggas. You niggas ain't the chosen people. You the chosen people because it's an illusion in your mind. You've been chosen to a false god named Satan. And the proof is in the pudding. We bringing out the receipts with these chapter and verses. You may at one time was worshiping the Creator, but now you're not. And even to this day, you're not worshiping the Creator. Why? Because they have defiled their own works and went a-whoring with their own invention. These are the gods y'all niggas is worshiping back then and today. White Jews and black Jews, nigga, y'all both worshiping this deity. Because this is the God of the Bible. This is the God you decided to worship in the land of Canaan. This is the demon God, the goat God. Do we need to prove it? Let's go to Leviticus chapter 17, verse 1 right quick. Let me see. Here we going in. Let's go to Leviticus. Leviticus, boy, that's a goddamn, ooh. I don't know what the fuck niggas was thinking. This is Leviticus. Damn, where that shit at? Blood atonement. Hold on, where that goddamn verse at in Leviticus? Hold on, goddamn. We don't get that. Let me pull up my Levitical. Oh, it's 7. That's right. 7, not 17. Bum. Nigga just grabbed the Bible and it just registered. Yo, 7. It's that quick perception. It just registered. All right, where we at with it? Look, these niggas sprinkling blood. Look, sprinkling blood, yo. Sprinkling blood. And this is supposed to be a peace offering. Look, you remember Black Jesus was talking about Thanksgiving and shit? Y'all niggas is worse than the Native Americans, nigga. What you did to yourselves was worse than the Native Americans' Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving of Israel that Black Jesus was trying to back up was worse than the goddamn Native Americans. Because you niggas is out here sprinkling blood, sacrificing unto devils, chopping up children and shit. Y'all niggas is crazy. Where that verse at? Besides the case, he shall offer for his offering leavened bread with sacrifice and thanksgiving of peace offering. This is the shit Black Jesus was trying to use to back up Thanksgiving. Huh? But in a couple a verse down, y'all niggas are sprinkling blood. Y'all playing with blood. Sprinkle the blood of the peace offering. What you playing with blood for? Didn't Numbers right here say, for blood it defiles the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood? Why y'all niggas are sprinkling blood for then? Y'all playing with blood. Y'all defiling the land with your own sacrifice. The very sacrifice, the very blood sacrifice that you're doing in the land of Canaan is defiling the land. You can't escape this. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defiles the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of blood that is shed therein. Huh? What you niggas is doing over here? Y'all niggas is fucking sacrificing animals. Matter of fact, let me come back over here and keep the flow going. That's what y'all niggas doing, bro. Ezekiel, during the time, Ezekiel was in captivity. Ezekiel was in captivity. This is the reason why you niggas went into captivity, doing these goddamn type of shit. Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast bore unto me, and these has thou sacrificed unto them to be devoured. Is this of thy whoredom a small matter? Look, it says sacrifice unto them to be what? Devoured. You remember when I asked earlier what he doing with the goddamn baby? What you think he about to do with it? Devour it. Right here. Right there. Devour it. That thou hast slain my children and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them. That's all the shit Israel doing in the land, yo. Jeremiah 19:5. And they have built high places of Baal to burn their sons in the fire, as a burnt offering to Baal, which I did not command or decree, nor did it come into my mind. So again, we see that Israel was worshiping these gods, Baal, Moloch, offering their sons and daughters, spilling their blood, defiling the land. Hold up, let me get that verse in Leviticus 2 where they goddamn was whoring for the devil. Can't let that shit slide. Oh, hell no. We gonna get that. Look at my book, yo. $17.7. All right, let me go to $17.7. That's where we was at. I was right. Boom. $17.7. Y'all still there? Boom. All right. $17.7. Again, $17.7. What the other verse where them niggas was horn for the devil? Right there. Nigga, we done found the precept, but you niggas worshiping devils. Devils. You niggas is worshiping devils. Psalms 106:37. Yeah, they have sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. And then what does Leviticus chapter 17, verse 7 say? And they shall no more offer their sacrifice unto devils, after whom they have gone a whoring. They trying to get you niggas to stop. You niggas had an obsession worshiping the devils. They trying to get you to stop. And they shall no more offer their sacrifice unto devils. In Psalms, they sacrifice their sons and daughters unto devils. So they're sacrificing their sons and daughters unto devils. This is Psalms. Psalms is during the time of David. That's during the time of David. So that means they in the land. And this is what the fuck David and all these other niggas who, the kings, the judges, that's in the land and seeing and beholding. They seeing the sacrifice of their sons and daughters unto devils. And by the time we get to Leviticus, and this is crazy because Leviticus is before David. Leviticus is before David. This is in reference to the wilderness period. Leviticus is during the time of the wilderness. David is during the time of the establishment of the northern and southern kingdom, or at least the whole land of Israel at the time. So even during the time of the wilderness, we see an issue with Israel sacrificing unto devils. In the Leviticus time, so this is the wilderness. It says they shall no more offer their sacrifice unto devils. This is the time of the wilderness and Sinia and all that, the 40 years. But then when we come to Psalms, the time of Psalms is David. We're talking about a couple hundred years after the wilderness. And then we still have the same problem in the time of David, where they're sacrificing their sons and their daughters and the devils. So from the time of being in the wilderness from the time of Moses to the time of David, these niggas been sacrificing unto devils. Not only have they been sacrificing unto devils, they sons and goddamn daughters. What does verse say? And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood. So once the land is polluted, it cannot be cleansed. For blood, it defiles the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood. How are you going to clean blood off the land? What you going to dig up the? You going to dig up the dirt under the blood, and all right, we're going to move this. We're going to move this bloody dirt over here. You going to drive the dirt back to Egypt? Or you going to drive the dirt to Turkey somewhere? Nah, nigga, y'all defiled the land, bro. It's too late. Y'all fucked up the promise. Y'all fucked up the promised land of Abraham. Y'all turned the promised land into the cursed land. This is the cursed land of Abraham now. The cursed land of Canaan. Y'all talk about the curse of the Canaanites. Well, goddamn, my nigga. Y'all did more damage and acts than the Canaanites. Curse be Canaan was just an echo through history of the times of Noah, according to y'all. And then you don't see no curse being manifested on the Canaanites other than Ham looking naked or looking at his father. And then Noah wakes up and curse be Canaan. That's the only thing you know about the Canaanites. Outside of that, ain't nothing you hearing about the Canaanites, what they do. Other than when the verse said that, where it stated right here that it's a good land and large unto the land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites. He ain't say the cursed land of Canaan or the cursed Canaanites. Y'all niggas got to question your actions. Because y'all, it says, and they shall no more offer their sacrifice unto the devil. This is the time of Moses, Leviticus. Then we get to David, it's the same shit. And they sacrifice their sons and daughters unto devils. And then by the time we get to Judges, which is even before that, this is before David, niggas is slaughtering 18,000 men. Man. And y'all niggas talking about running back to the land of Israel to go reestablish what? What you gonna go reestablish in the land where it's cursed and defiled with blood? It's already stated in Psalms, you niggas can't cleanse that. It's over. For blood it defiles the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of blood. That's it right there. It's over. You can't override this right here. Cannot be cleansed of blood. You can't override that. Captain Zabak, Nathaniel, you niggas can't override that. That's why you niggas is trying to wait on that new Jerusalem to come down from heaven. Because you know you can't come back to the land of Israel as it is today because the land has been defiled with blood and cannot be cleansed. Blood is being shed on that land right now. The Palestinians and the Israelis, them niggas warned until this day blood is being spilt. So from the time of the Benjamites slaughtering 18,000 Israelites back then, until today, blood is still being spilt. And this is the promised land you niggas trying to run to? Question the gods. Don't let these guys out here fool you to run in a hostile environment, getting your ass end up blown away by crazy-ass Muslim extremists. Y'all better question these gods. Question the gods. And I said, what verse is this? Let me see. Jeremiah. Let me read here. And the Lord called unto Moses and spoke unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering, muffin, hush. If any man bring unto you an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of the kettle. So right here is basically talking about the process of a burnt offering. Because in this presentation that I did, I was talking about how the animal sacrifice is the exact same thing as a child sacrifice. You'll have to go through the same process because in order to have a burnt offering, you have to go through the steps. And the priest got to do the steps. So if the priest was responsible for the offerings and the sacrifice, they'll be responsible for the child sacrifices as well. Because if the child is being sacrificed up here, like it states, come up here again, right here. And moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast born unto me, and these hast thou sacrificed unto them to be devoured. See what I'm saying? They're sacrificing their children. So if you're sacrificing your children, there has to be a process on how the sacrifice is carried out. to burn their sons and their daughters in the fire. See that? This is a burnt sacrifice they're talking about. And there's a process on how the burnt sacrifice goes. So it's called the law of burnt sacrifice. And that will apply to animal and children because there was already sacrificing their children. See that? So now, according to the law of burnt sacrifice, let's just exclude the child for a minute. The verse said right here, for blood it defiles the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood. So why would the Lord tell you niggas to spill blood in the burnt sacrifice? Because look what it states here. And he shall kill the bullock before the Lord, and the priest Aaron's sons shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood around about upon the altar. That is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Now the question needs to be asked. You niggas is playing with blood. You're bringing blood. You had to spill the blood. That's defiling the land. For blood, it defiles the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of blood. If you would have followed the Creator when the Creator said, nigga, don't eat no fucking animals, I changed man from a carnivore to an herbivore, you ain't got to worry about spilling no blood. Then you ain't got to worry about cursing the land being cursed. But your own Lord is telling you to spill blood right here. He did it before the Lord. What did he do before the Lord? Bring blood and sprinkle the blood. He bring the blood and sprinkle the blood, while over here is telling you, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood. So what the fuck is you niggas playing with blood for? Yo, God got you going against his own words. First, he telling you don't shed blood because of these acts, because of defilement and uncleanness. Now he's telling you to go kill a whole bunch of animals and bring the blood and sprinkle it on the altar type shit. Fire fi bandat. This is a what? This is a burnt offering. A burnt offering. This is a sacrifice. This is what your God got you sacrificing. Animals, goat heads. And the priest, Aaron's son, shall lay the parts, the head and the fat in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. This is how you niggas would have been walking around looking. You're supposed to be holy men of the Lord. And you niggas is walking around with plates of goat heads, defiling the land because those goats' heads, that blood had to be spilt on the ground. Y'all niggas ain't gonna try to be slick. Oh, well, when they spilled the blood, they had something to carry the blood. Nah, nigga. Some of that blood, guys, I don't give a fuck if it's a damn water drop, a raindrop. One raindrop of blood hit that floor, the land is defiled, my nigga. I don't give a fuck if you cut your hand by mistake and your own blood hit the goddamn soil. That shit is defiled according to the text. See? This shit is called according to the text as it is written. I ain't making nothing up. I'm going by what it say. And what it say is that the priest of Aaron's sons shall lay the parts, the head and the fat in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. Look at this nigga. That's how them Israelites gonna be looking just like that. They gonna be looking just like that, smiling just like that, boy. That's Tazariah, huh? That's Sabat. That's Nathaniel. Them niggas gonna be smiling just like that in the New Jerusalem with these goddamn goat heads. Happy as a motherfucker. This is the pine oil heaven happy face right here. That's how niggas gonna be in pine oil heavens when they get adjusted to pine oil heaven. Once they get adjusted to pine oil heaven and they realize like it ain't that bad, this is the smile they're gonna have on their face. The pine oil heaven smile. Right there. Because at this point, they used to hell now. They used to cutting these goat heads. I bet you when they first cut that goat head, he ain't had that smile. But this is what's going on, fam. But the inwards and the legs shall ye wash in water, and the priest shall burn all on the altar to be a burnt sacrifice, a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savior unto the Lord. Your Lord got you niggas cutting up this right here, burning this as a sweet savior and an offering, And it's supposed to be the Most High. This is supposed to be the same one who said, do not defile the land with blood. Look at them cow heads, them goat heads, them lamb heads, them sheep heads, heads and feet, guts. Your own Lord got you defiling the land when he told you not to. It's crazy. It's crazy, son. Look, and the priest of Aaron shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood around about upon the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. See that? They sprinkling blood around about the altar by the door of the tabernacle. The tabernacle of who? The tabernacle of goddamn Moloch. Moloch. Aaron was worshiping Moloch. And we're going to prove it. Let's go back to Amos. Let's go back to Amos. Let's go back to Amos. You almost had it, Israel. You almost had it. You was almost there. But you left out this part. You forgot this right here. What'd that say? What'd that say? But ye have borne the tabernacles of your Moloch. Let me bring it from right here. It says, what, 40 years in the wilderness. What'd you do? You bore the tabernacles of your Moloch. The tabernacles of your Moloch. What does it say right here? Where we at? Where we at? What does it say? See that? What does it say? The tabernacle of the congregation. What congregation and what tabernacle are you talking about? I'm talking about this shit right here, fam. The tabernacle of your Moloch. The tabernacle of your congregation of Moloch is what the priesthood of Aaron was worshiping. Y'all niggas, boy. Y'all thought the Aaron priesthood was all cool and dandy, huh? No. Creator ain't require no priesthood of Aaron to sacrifice no blood. Somebody else told you niggas that. That's why Jeremiah said what he said. I ain't tell you niggas to do that coming up out of Egypt. I ain't tell you to sacrifice your sons and daughters. Huh? Oh, I had it right there the whole damn time, right here. I'm tripping. But ye have borne the tabernacles of your Moloch, right there. And this is the precept to that, to Aaron. And the priest, Aaron's son, shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood round about the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. What tabernacle? Nigga, the tabernacle of your Moloch. You wasn't, what was it? Boy. Dealing with these burnt offering. They go that blood being spilled again. Look at that. Look at that. That shit look like fried goddamn sheep head and fried sheep foot. That sheep goddamn ankle right there. And he shall kill. He shall kill it. Thou shalt not kill, but he shall kill it. On the side of the altar northward before the Lord. And the priest, Aaron's son, shall sprinkle his blood around about upon the altar. Look. He shall cut into his pieces with the head and his fat, and the priest shall lay them in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. Look at that. These niggas is playing with goat heads and fat. Which one of you niggas is going to pick up animal fat and offer it as a burnt sacrifice because God said so? Question the gods. You got to question your God about these sacrifices because you niggas out here. This is the burnt offering, the peace offering. All these sacrifices got to do with killing animals. This how you niggas gonna be looking. That's how your God is. That's all y'all niggas be looking like, just like that, taking that turkey. But he shall wash the inwards and the legs with water, and the priest shall bring it all and burn it upon the altar. And it is a burnt sacrifice and offering made by fire of a sweet savior unto the Lord. See that? Your Lord got you doing this. You ain't even questioning. You looking like this nigga right here. You ain't questioning shit. You just believing in the Lord, and you like, boy, this turkey smelling good. I can't wait to dive in. And then what you do over that turkey? You pray to the Lord. You pray before you eat, don't you? That nigga probably praying now. That's that Muslim prayer right there. He got these niggas praying over their dead animals to God, thanking God for it, just like they verse states. Just like their verse states. A burnt sacrifice and offering made by fire is a sweet savior unto the Lord. You thank your Lord every time you eat that chicken, every time you eat that goat head, them goat feet, and that cow. I mean that turkey. Huh? Look at that. And if the burnt sacrifice for his offering to the Lord be of fowls, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves and of young pigeons. Look at these animals being used for sacrifice to a god. And this is supposed to be the Most High who created the heavens and the earth. This is supposed to be the Most High who created everything in 6 days. Got you niggas doing these things in the land of Israel. Huh? Well, this is in the wilderness per se. But from the wilderness to the land of Israel, this is what y'all doing. When was you ever righteous? You know what I mean? When were you niggas ever righteous? That's the question. Raise that question to these niggas. When was these niggas ever righteous? Let's vibe, family. Give me a 1 in the chat if you get this understanding. When was these niggas ever righteous, yo? It's a blood clot vibes. Yes, family. It's a vibes. Racist. Animals are our friends, not food. You see that? You see that? Thought that was the bishop for a minute. Hell no. That's how the bishop gonna be looking over that. Boy, that chicken's smelling good. Go ahead and give me some of that rib, boy. Now here's another thing. Check this out. Check this out. Let me show you how bullshit of a God they follow, right? Now keep in mind, Israel spent so-called 430 years in the land of in Egypt. Now think about this. They was in bondage to Egypt. They was under a taskmaster that put a hard a burden on them. And then Moses was raised up to lead the people out, right? Notice, no Israelite, no Hebrew, all those people that was in the Exodus, notice ain't none of them pick up arms to fight the Egyptians. Notice that none of those people who fled out of the land of Egypt, known as the Exodus, did not pick up a sword to war and fight amongst the Egyptians. So here's the question. Why would God have you run out of the land of Egypt without warfare, and God is using miracles and miraculous miracles to stay away the Egyptians? He's turning the water in the river into blood, frogs, locusts. He split the Red Sea. Israel ain't had to pick up a sword not once. All they had to do was flee. But now they get to the land of Canaan, and this is the same Lord who did all those miracles, is now telling the Israelites to go into the land of Canaan and draw the sword and go to war with the Canaanites. Why would you tell them that when you could do the very same miracles you did in the land of Egypt to the Egyptians, to the Canaanites now? So once we go into the land, you lead the way, nigga. You God. Start goddamn turning their rivers into water. I mean, they rivers into blood. Start giving them niggas locusts. Kill off their firstborns. Split the goddamn whatever sea, the Sea of Galilee up there, and show the Canaanites your power and his chosen people coming in without shedding blood. See that? Niggas ain't question that. Niggas ain't question why did the Israelites didn't war with the Egyptians in their land and fight them niggas like they fought the Canaanites in their land. Huh? You niggas ran up out of Egypt, but then go in the land of Canaan to go to war with them niggas? That don't even make no sense. You got to question your God. Because your God is showing miraculous miracles of you niggas leaving Egypt without having to draw the sword. But then all of a sudden you get to the land of Canaan, and now your God is telling niggas 20 years above to draw the sword so y'all can go to war and kill off the Canaanites, kill off man, woman, children, and suckling an infant, slaughter them, utterly destroy them, decimate them niggas. This is the same Lord who did all the miracles a second ago. Why he ain't doing the miracles to the Canaanites? Why he got you niggas shedding blood now? And then before you niggas started shedding blood in the land of Canaan, he gave you the law on Mount Sinai saying, thou shalt not kill. So you just came out of the land of Egypt. You ain't have to kill no Egyptian. The Lord did everything for you. Then Moses give you a law, thou shalt not kill, which would make more sense, because if you don't kill, you will believe that the miraculous miracle that took place in Egypt will be with you, because the Lord did it and we ain't have to kill. So your faith should be fortified and strengthened in thou shalt not murder and kill after seeing what you just seen. But then a couple generations down now, you niggas go into the land of Canaan, drawing a sword, chopping the heads off the Canaanites. What happened to the miracles? What happened to the power of God? What happened to the protection of God? Why he got to have you out there, the chosen people, defiling the land, spilling blood, which cannot be cleansed? Come on now. Come on now. That's why we say question the gods, because all this is under the watch of God. Talk to me. It's a blood clot vibe. That's why niggas don't want to fucking get in the ring, because I got all this shit hanging over niggas' head. If I put that Sinetta wants to hang that right there, you bring that perspective to Sinetta channel, because ain't nobody brought that perspective out. Why would God lead the Israelites to go slaughtering the Canaanites when he didn't tell the Israelites to do the same thing in Egypt? He could have easily told the Israelites, draw your sword. You're going to fight these goddamn Egyptians and take their shit. Or you're going to fight and slaughter these niggas the same way you did the Canaanites. Come on, yo. Come on, yo. It's game fucking over for these niggas. My nigga kept me, so they was offering their children to the white man. They said the white man is the devil, so obviously same way in goddamn slavery when they was offering their children to the goddamn white man, right? Doing that shit back then, huh? It's family. Hell no, Selah on your head, nigga. Y'all was found righteous in one fixation, 11:3. You know what I mean? Y'all niggas was only righteous. Y'all niggas wasn't even righteous in your mind, man. Y'all niggas wasn't even righteous in your mind. Yes, Ezekiel. Yes, man. Exactly, BC. Going against his own statutes. You know what I'm saying? If the Lord would have did all the miracles in the land of Canaan like he did in Egypt, nigga, he'll be the coldest nigga. If the Lord got you niggas descending into warfare, got you stooping down to fucking warfare, my nigga. Who do that? Will God do that? It's a blood vibes. We vibing, you dig? But you know what though? You know, every show since it's the holiday season, we gotta feed these niggas. Because if these niggas is doing all this sacrifice to their gods, they're sacrificing them to devils. That's why I showed the picture nigga smile. He had the pot on heaven smile. Because he happy in hell now. You remember the OAHSPE say, they delight in evil. The false gods have trained warrior angels who delight in evil. So we gotta hit them. We ain't hit them with the final heaven for today. We gotta hit these niggas with the final heaven. At least once alive, we gotta hit niggas with the final heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
At least once a show, we gotta hit niggas with the final heaven.
Pine or you'll have a
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine or you'll have a
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine or you'll have a
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine or you'll have a
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine or you'll have a
Draconians. Draconians of reptilians, I'm telling you, question these gods you so-called pray to. Yeah, man. For the Draconians, reptilians, or better yet, just the false gods all together. I got to be mindful of these false gods who claim to be worshiping, sacrificing to you, offering sacrifices to these gods. You know what I mean? You offering sacrifices to these gods, the evil gods. Yup, Jesus means earth pig, yup. Brought that out in that goddamn video I did, that Christ not a Hebrew word, yo. Because Zeus is pagan land, and G is earth. The GE would be equivalent to the JE. So Jesus in Latin means earth pig. Testimony road, what you say? How can you not morally as a Christian see that the things done from these gods were wrong? Facts. That's why Christians don't like to read the Old Testament. That's why Christians stay in the New Testament. Christians run from that Old Testament. Don't bring them the Old Testament to no Christians. They run from that, and rightfully they should run from that shit. After you see what we just got through reading, nigga, burn the Old Testament. Get rid of that shit. All that shit. All that shit gotta go, yo. Because as long as that shit is here, niggas gonna believe in that this God is goddamn, it's okay because it's God. You got these niggas who will defend what we just said. Oh, well, you know, God told us to kill the Canaanites because, you know, God said so. Or, you know, the curse be Canaan. And, you know, because in Noah's time, Noah, come on, yo. Y'all niggas is fucking dealing with a fictional curse. The curse of Canaan is not even fucking real. Shem, Ham, and Japheth are not even people. Noah is not even a man. So from the OAHSPE's perspective, the curse of Canaan don't even exist. The false god Anu Hassaj, who created the 7-day creation story, is the one who gave you that mythical lie about curse be Canaan. A false god gave you a goddamn lie, and you running around hating the people based off a lie. Noah said curse be Canaan, nigga. That shit is a fictional story. Anu Hassaj made that shit up. For my advanced readers in OAHSPE who know what's going on. But to you biblical readers who ain't read the OAHSPE and we've been trying to get you on par. So when we say names like Anu Hassaj, the false god, and you like, who is that? And you still ain't reading after all this time, you're going to be in pine oil heaven, my nigga. Y'all niggas keep playing around. We trying to save you niggas from this shit, man.
Roasting.
We trying to save you niggas from pine oil heaven.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting.
Really trying to save you
on
niggas.
an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy.
This indoctrination is real. Yeah, that shit
Chestnuts
real.
roasting
Son,
on
dun,
an
dun.
open fire.
That's where you headed, boy.
Shit real, dun,
To
dun.
pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Who says your
That's
book
where you
is
headed,
true
boy.
just because it
To
sounds
pine
good?
oil
Man,
heaven.
come on. You gotta come better than that, beloved. Sound good? We don't go by what sound good. If it's righteous, it's righteous. If it's not, it's not. If your God say thou shalt not kill, that sound good. But then God got niggas out there slaughtering men, women, and children. That's a contradiction of God's actions. That's a contradiction of God's actions. We ain't dealing with no sound good. Nigga, life ain't about no sound. Ain't shit sounding good. When we talk about the OAHSPE, it's bloodshed in there by these false gods. We ain't dealing with no sound good. We dealing with morals and principles based off one's actions. That's what we dealing with. Fuck the sound good. Anything can sound good. You put some goddamn honey and poison in a nigga, that shit'll taste sweet and good too. See, we analyze things over here. We just not wishfully thinking. I'm showing you chapter and verses. You've seen for your own self what been going on this last hour. You know what it is deep in your soul. You just can't let go though. See, I know the mentality. I've been around this shit for too long. I know the discernment. I know where your spirit at. I know when somebody throw out a question like that where your mind not already you showing your card. Yes, family. It survives. The law is corrupt from a false, corrupt God. That Christian, yeah. Study to make thyself approved. So you're dealing with men who study over here. So we don't go off of our emotions. We don't go by what feels good or what sounds good. We go by what the text say. We analyze the text. Does it coincide with common sense? You know what I mean? If you was loyal to someone, you got to live up to your word. Word is my bond. We're looking and analyzing based off of logic, common sense, and analyzing to see if God say who he say he is. And if we find holes, nigga, we pull that shit out. We pull it out, family. Listen. Yeah, I'm gonna be on next week, next Sunday, this coming Sunday, I'm gonna be on Ima's channel. We're gonna be doing she's gonna present me on the channel. The Faith is Sisterhood, the Isayan Sisterhood. We're gonna go into the book, the Timetables of Prophecy. I'm gonna go and give a little breakdown of the book. You know what I mean? Go into it. Because what inspired me to write the book was just to compress I took all of this and compressed it into this. So for readers who may have the desire to read this whole OAHSPE like us who ran through this book, not everybody gonna read this whole book. Even those who are inspired by the book will not finish reading this book. So I condense this into this to give you a straight to the point direction of what's going on in this big book. You know what I mean? It's a synopsis of the OAHSPE. It's straight to the point. That's why it's called the Timetables of Prophecy, because when you read the OAHSPE, the book of Jehovah is giving you the cosmology of creation, the vortex, how things are created. So we can't even talk about Adam and Eve and none of that shit, because that comes way after creation has manifested. So the biblical creation got you believing that, God created the earth in 6 days, that he created man, and then so goes the story. So the OAHSPE approach is a little different. You know what I'm saying? It talks about vortices, how vortices create worlds, and then it goes to the process of creation and things like that. So we're going to touch on that next Sunday. Shout out to Ima. Shout out to the sisterhood, the Nazarene, and Faith is Sisterhood. We're going to light it up. So tune in. I'm going to create a flyer for it so we can promote it. You know how we do. You know how we do, family. As we move forward, you're right, exactly. But the difference is that Israel was worshiping them. They were worshiping these gods. And then many of them are worshiping these gods today. Not the same gods of old, but new false gods that came on the scene. So yeah. And that's what I showed you just now. What I showed you, everything I just read was out the Bible. I read a verse in Jeremiah where it said, I didn't command you concerning burnt offerings and sacrifice. Then I read you where the Lord is asking for burnt offerings and sacrifice. So now you have two different gods talking. One God is telling you that I did not command the offerings, and another God is telling you that, nigga, go ahead and burn that chicken. I need to smell that sweet savior. So that's the thing. That's the thing. You gotta question the gods. If you don't question the gods, you're gonna be caught in a snare. You're gonna be caught in a big snare. Now look, watch this. Look, for I spoke not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings and sacrifice. So here the verse is letting you know that I didn't tell you niggas to do burnt offerings and sacrifices. He's telling you that. But then when we go to Leviticus, right? Let's go to Leviticus 1. What Leviticus 1 say? The law of burnt offering. See that? Look at that. The law of burnt offering. But what did Jeremiah just tell you? What did Jeremiah just tell you? For I spoke not unto your fathers, nor commanded them. See, this is the key right here. Y'all always talk about the commandments. Nor commanded them. He did not command you to do this. Do what? Burnt offerings and sacrifice right here. He ain't command you to do this. But then when we go to Leviticus chapter 1, what did it say? The law of burnt offerings. So who told you to do this? The Lord. But hold up, the same Lord who's telling you not to do this in Jeremiah, for I spoke, I is the Lord. For the Lord spoke unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I, the Lord, brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings and sacrifice. But in Leviticus, it's telling you right here, it's giving you the law of it, the law of the burnt offering. So that's what we're saying, family. That's what we're saying. Which one is telling, who telling the truth? Who lying? Who telling the truth? Huh? Was you commanded to burn offerings? Because we could go through the whole book of Leviticus and show you how they was burning and killing all type of animals as a burnt offering. Or you rocking with Jeremiah, who said, yo, the Lord, I ain't command you niggas to do that. So if the Lord ain't command you niggas to do it, who told you to do it? These are the questions you got to ask yourself, because we making it clear. That's why we here. We exposing this shit. We exposing the false gods. Selah, most of the ones defending the Bible haven't read it through enough times to even begin picking up those indications of multiple gods speaking. Actual fact, sis. That's actual fact. That's true. I can vouch for it in my early days of studying Bible, because I've been studying the Bible since a youngin'. You know what I mean? But I was studying the Bible before I even knew anything about Israelite. I'm reading this shit. It's talking about Israel, and never once did I thought about it, an Israelite or a chosen people when I was reading the book. I went through those phases, so I know exactly what the sister's talking about. But when you become an adult, ain't no more excuses. If nigga's a teenager, I'll let them pass. I'll let them pass as a teenager. When you hit them 20s, nigga, ain't no more. I ain't giving you that pass. In your 30s and 40s, ain't no motherfucking pass, nigga. It's raw and uncut up here. You better be on top of your shit, because as you see, we exposing. We showing you what's in the I'm not giving you what I think. Only time when I give you what I think is when it's based off what's written. So what I'm saying on my point is based off what's written. And what is written? That y'all was sacrificing unto devils. Y'all was sacrificing your sons and daughters unto devils, to the idols of Canaan. This is written in the book. This is what y'all was doing from the time you niggas left Egypt and started complaining in the goddamn wilderness. Huh? When y'all niggas started complaining in the wilderness, in Mount Sinai, in the wilderness of Sinai for 40 years, them whole 40 years, Amos told you niggas that y'all was worshiping Moloch for 40 years. So after you left Egypt for 40 years, you worshiping Moloch. Then after 40 years, y'all migrated and y'all went to war in the land of Canaan. In Numbers chapter 1, it talks about prepare men 20 years in order to go to war in the land of Canaan. That's right after the 40 years of the wilderness. So when was y'all niggas ever practicing righteousness? The 40 years in the wilderness, y'all worshiping Moloch, a false god. Then you're inspired to go into the land of Canaan to slay the Canaanites and start doing atrocities worse than the Canaanites, because the children of Israel was warring with the children of Benjamin, and they were slaying and murdering each other by the thousands. Within 3 to 4 days, them niggas done caught over 20,000 bodies in 3 days. Read Judges chapter 20, and see how many killings that took place with the children of Israel and the children of Benjamin in those wars. In 3 days, them niggas done killed over about fucking 20,000. In one day, they killed 18,000. In another day, they killed like 17. Another one, they killed like 2,200. Them niggas got bodies on them in the land of Canaan. And these are the Israelites fighting among themselves, to the point where they fighting among themselves, killing them on that catastrophic number of genocide. That's genocide. That's not even warfare anymore, nigga. 18,000 in a day is genocide. So you have Israelites committing genocidal acts on other Israelites. Then you niggas are sacrificing unto devils. Then you sacrificing your sons and daughters unto these devils. You're worshiping the idols of Canaan. What you expect to happen? Your ass got caught in captivity. You doing all that shit, now here come the Babylonians and the Assyrians coming in. They decimated the land. They brought you niggas into captivity in the midst of you niggas acting like that. It wasn't like y'all niggas was living righteous and holy when the captivity came. Y'all niggas was doing this wickedness, defiling the land, where the land cannot be cleansed. So your God put you into captivity. Your God did that. Who is your God? You don't even know who the fuck your God is, to be honest. You don't know what your niggas is worshiping. That's why I say you don't know what you worshiping. You think the priesthood of Aaron was under the Most High? Doing that type of shit? Who you think was offering them sacrifices to them false gods? Who you think was offering sacrifice to Moloch in the wilderness for 40 years? You bore the tabernacle of Moloch and your Chiyum, and you carried the image of your star. Who you think they was worshiping? You thought they was worshiping the Most High? Them 40 years in the wilderness? You thought the priesthood of Aaron was under the Most High? Y'all niggas gonna have a harsh reality to face following these false gods.
Chestnuts roasting on an open
Harsh reality,
fire.
nigga.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting.
Jesus! We
on
going
an
to see
open
Jesus!
That's
fire.
where you headed, boy. To
Can't lie,
pine
you
oil
crazy. That
heaven.
one.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
The Lord said to my Lord is a prime example of what? That's two niggas talking to each other. Ain't no Most High there. The Lord said unto my Lord. You know how many variations of interpretations I heard people bring up with that? Niggas don't even know what a Lord is. What is the position of Lord in the heavenly kingdom based off the Bible? Well, we ain't gonna do that because we know niggas don't know those answers. Not saying you, Christopher, but just in general. It's a blood clot vibes. So we showing you that the sacrifices of these false gods, you got a question. Because the sacrifice of the Creator ain't got nothing to do with no goddamn false gods. The sacrifice of the Creator ain't got shit to do with bloodshed, period. That's how we know you niggas is off. Following the satanic ass God. Thinking you following the Creator. It's a vibe. Yes, family. Now, man, if I make it make sense, yeah? It's time for make it make sense. Enough of the false God, fuck with that. Enough of the false God, fuck with that. Time to make it make sense. I'm gonna show you the sacrifice of the Creator, man. Y'all running around here worshiping these false gods out here, sacrificing goats and animals. This is the service of Creator. This is the sacrifice of Creator right here, man. This is the sacrifice, the resurrection of mortals. This is the blueprint right here. It's the blueprint right here, son. This is the earth and the atmosphere. And above the atmosphere is the ether. Rarefied air. High altitude ether. Above and beyond Earth's atmosphere. That's the grades. Grade 1, 50, 99. The highest atmospheric grades. The lowest atmospheric grades. The sacrifice of Creator is the service and the good works, the good things done. That's the sacrifice. The labor, see that? The service. The service is the sacrifice, man. The sacrifice of self in helping others is the service of Creator, man. And you graded. We got the blueprint. When you sacrifice, when we just read Leviticus, they were sacrificing goats and animals. That's labor. That's work they're doing to their God. So that's the labor. The sacrifice, the service is the labor. But what you don't know is you're graded based off the sacrifice and service of your labor. Your God didn't tell you that. And these grades you see you see here, from the lowest grade to the highest grade, all this is based off the sacrifice of self, based off the sacrificial serving of others. If you sacrifice yourself, if you're only doing things for yourself, if you're only sacrificing for yourself and nobody else, you got the lowest grade. You got grade 1. You a selfish ass person. Because all your sacrifices go into yourself. But if you want the highest grade, the service done unto others is the sacrifice. Meaning you got to sacrifice most of your time helping others. That's the highest spiritual grade. And these grades are spiritual grades. Spiritual grades. These grades are going to determine when you rise here. Selfish people are going to remain on earth after they die. You're wealthy. You're hoarders up of earthly possession. Those who sacrifice their life only to possess earthly possessions, houses, cars, money, jewelry. They got the lowest grades. When they cross over in spirit, they're going to be right here on the earth, resting, moving around as wandering spirits, drudges, spirits of darkness. They're not going to know how to escape because their whole life they spent their sacrifices on material gain. See how that works? See how that works? But if you want a grade 50, when you cross over, if you want to be kind of up in these higher realms spiritually, if you want to ascend, the ascension, grade 50, that means you sacrificing 50% of your time to others and 50% of your time to yourself. But those who got the highest grade are those who are totally sacrificing themselves 99% of their time to help others. See that? So our labor, our sacrifice to the Creator ain't got shit to do with spilling no goddamn guts. It ain't got the shit to do with spilling no animals, killing bullocks and then taking the blood and sprinkling the blood on the tabernacle and all that. We ain't got to do none of that. The Creator don't require that. The Creator don't require blood sacrifice. Only the false gods. Book of Judgment. Book of Judgment, chapter 6, verse 1 through 9. I mean, I go through it all, but just giving you a reference of how we deal with sacrifice. Whether on earth or in heaven, the same rules apply to both. See that? He who serves himself one half and serve others one half shall stand grade 50. So if you sacrifice yourself 50% of your time to others, and then you sacrifice the other 50% of your time to yourself, your grade is 50. So this is your spiritual grade. If you maintain that behavior for the rest of your days, you'll ascend to the second resurrection, which starts at grade 50. He who serves himself 3/4 and others 1/4 shall stand grade 25. So your grade is based off your sacrifice or your service done unto others. He who serves himself 1/4 and others 3/4 shall stand grade 75. See that? And he who serves himself only shall stand grade 1, as you see here, grade 1. Those are the niggas resting around and roaming on the earth. Those are your grade 1s right here. And grade 1 is deep. A lot of the greatest congregation of the spirits of the dead rest on the earth itself. The heavenly kingdoms are scarce up here. It's more spirits of the dead. All the people that crossed over in spirit more likely are still lingering on the earth plane. They haven't learned to rise up in these higher planes because they have not been taught the service to others is how you ascend. Because they've been following a God that told them that they had to burn animals to sacrifice their God. Or they had to worship a deity to get to God. So all of them are lingering in the lower grades. Because for this whole time, they wasn't serving others in righteousness. They was following and serving a God who didn't tell them how to spiritually ascend based off the service done unto others. And he who serves or sacrifice others wholly shall stand grade what? 99. So if you sacrifice it for others most of your time, for a lifetime, when you cross over in spirit, you'll have a high spiritual grade of 99. You'll be at the highest spiritual altitude that the planet has to offer. See that? And look what it states. And whoever serves accordingly or sacrifice accordingly, himself or others, shall stand in grade even as his works manifest. So you are totally responsible for your own sacrifices or services done unto others for you to ascend or descend in the grades. To work, to serve oneself is to work for oneself, to strive for oneself, to think for one's own self as to what will benefit one's self only. That's the sacrifice of self when you're only worried about yourself and nobody else. That's the lowest sacrifice. That's the lowest service you can do, is be a selfish person. But check it. To serve others is to do good to others, to help them, to teach them, to give them joy and comfort. This is the service, sacrifice of Jehovah. See that? The service and sacrifice of Jehovah is to do good unto others, to help them, to teach them, to give them joy and comfort. What we doing right now, we teaching. What we doing right now, we doing good works, talking about Creator. We in a joyous and comfortable moment right now. Everybody feeling good. Whether if it gets stirred up or not, we feeling good. We in, you know what I mean? We doing what we doing right now. We ain't out there stealing and robbing niggas and doing dumb shit. We over here teaching. But there are some who are below the grades, who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy, who delight in crime and pollution. These, if mortal, shall be called drunks, and if spirits, shall be called drudges. See that? But look what it stated. Look at the behavior. It says, some are below the grades. And look at the behavior of those below the grades. They what? They what? Seek to do evil. Now, look at this. And Benjamin went forth against them out of Gibeah the second day, and destroyed down to the ground of the children of Israel again 18,000 men. All these drew the sword. What did the OAHSPE say? But there are some who are below the grades, who seek to do evil. This is evil, what Benjamin and the children of Israel are doing. But guess who's conspiring it? The Lord. And the children of Israel went up and wept before the Lord unto even, and asked counsel of the Lord, saying, shall I go up again to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother? And the Lord said, go up against him. The Lord is conspiring the killing. He didn't say thus. He didn't say stop, don't kill. What did the OAHSPE say? But those who seek, but there are some who are below the grades who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy, who delight in crime and pollution. Is not your Lord acting in that behavior right here at this instance? Instead of telling the children of Israel, put down our sword, no more killing, no more shedding of blood, no more defiling the land. But the Lord is telling Israel to go fight against the Benjamites. And when the Israelites, the children of Israel, listened to the Lord, and when they went to fight against the Israelites, the Benjamites, 18,000 of them niggas died. 18,000 men of Israel that drew the sword died against the Benjamites. But the Lord right here said, and the Lord said, go up against them. The Lord is telling the children of Israel to go up against the Benjamites, and when they did, 18,000 of them died. So what we really talking about here? What's really going on here? What did the OAHSPE say? But there are some who are below the grades, who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy, who delight in crime and pollution. All this is the behavior of your God. Your God is below the grades. Why? You know why your God is below the grades? Because he seek to do evil. What is the evil he seek to do? To tell the children of Israel to go against the Benjamite, knowing they was going to get slaughtered. What else he like to do? Make others unhappy. You know why they're unhappy? Look, they're unhappy. Where that verse at? Come on. Where that verse at? Look, they're unhappy. You know why they're unhappy? Look, they're weeping before the Lord unto evening. The Lord is making these niggas unhappy because it's the Lord that got these niggas in the battle. What did the OAHSPE say? to make others unhappy. Your Lord is making these Israelites unhappy. They're weeping before the Lord. They don't want to fight no more. But you got these niggas going on fighting, Lord, questioning God. They ain't questioning their God. They just believing in their God. And this is the condition that they in, weeping before the Lord. What did the OAHSPE say? But there are some who are below the grades who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy. And what else? What else? Who delight in crime and pollution. Your Lord is delighting in crime and pollution, because when the children of Israel asked, shall I go up again to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother, the Lord said, go up against them, indulging in the crime. Indulging. What is the pollution? Here is the pollution. This is the pollution. 18,000 men died in a day. The pollution and the foul odor of 18,000 dead bodies. Do you know that when you die, you defecate on yourself? Huh? You shit on yourself? Foul gases of atmospheria. So you got 18,000 niggas that done, and women that done defecate on themselves. Just imagine the odor in that. You know when you go to the bathroom and blow it up, how that shit smell? And that's just you alone. Let alone 18,000 motherfuckers in one area. You know what I mean? Shitting on themselves. And you going through the midst of 18,000 men, got to bury these niggas, take the bodies. Nigga, you're going to get sick in the process just trying to clean up this area. So the OAHSPE is exposing not only your behavior of you, Israel, but your God as well. Your God is a drudge, because your God is a spirit. So your God is a drudge. If mortal, you niggas is drunks. But there are some who are below the grades, who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy, who delight in crime and pollution. These, if mortal, shall be called drunks, and if spirits shall be called drudges. Now let's nip it in the bud as a precept. Let's go to the OAHSPE, to the Book of Judgment 32. You know we'll be going with that as a precept on top of that. Where we at? All right, we right there. Let me go to the OAHSPE. Let me click that out. We good with that. Let me bring that OAHSPE. The book these niggas are scared to read, they running from. Now let's go to the Book of Judgment. Nigga, if I ever heard of a book called a Book of Judgment, I'm investigating that shit. Fuck that. That shit is too intriguing to just overlook. That's how I know these niggas ain't genuine with knowledge and information. How the fuck you gonna be the house? How you gonna be conscious and deny when consciousness and information come to you because you wrapped in a fucking book? That's how close-minded they false gods got them. These niggas got tunnel vision. They false gods gave these niggas tunnel vision where they can't see. Now let's go to the Book of Judgment, chapter 32, as a precept to what I just read as far as those below the grades. Now again, it states, but there are some who are below the grades, who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy, who delight in crime and pollution. These are niggas, that's the behavior of those below the grades. So all that behavior going on in the land of Israel, the niggas below the grades. Below the grades. Now this is in the Book of OAHSPE, Book of Judgment, chapter 32. Now look what it say here. Where it at? Right here. Look at that. These angels take delight in evil instead of good. See that? These angels take delight in evil instead of good. We already exposed God as an angel. So when we come back to Judges, and we come back here to this verse, which is Judges 20:23, and the children of Israel went up and wept, making others unhappy, before the Lord in the evening, and asked counsel of the Lord. They asked counsel of the Lord. What did the OAHSPE say? These angels take delight in evil instead of good. Why? Here is the delight in evil. They counseling the Lord. So when the Lord said, shall I go up again to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother? That's the question. Now the answer will either be a delight in goddamn positivity. Nah, nigga, put the guns down. We gonna stop the war. You know what I mean? There's no more self-destruction. Or it could be a goddamn answer where nigga delight in evil instead of good. So what did the Lord say? The Lord said, go up against them. So with that response from the Lord, these angels take delight in evil instead of good. He's encouraging the evil in the land where blood is not supposed to be spilled, because Numbers stated that for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood. So why your Lord is not telling you to go kill niggas in the land? Coming back to the OAHSPE. But there are some who are below the grades, who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy, who delight in crime and pollution. Huh? And then in the book of judgment, these angels take delight in evil instead of good. And then we come down to verse 18. In the past, the false gods used such angels to fulfill curses on mortals and to carry poison in the air and aniquilate mortals with foul gases. These false gods right here, this false god is this same nigga right here in your book, in Judges, the Lord. The Lord, your God, is a false god because he's delighting in evil, participating in evil, creating crime and pollution in the land that's supposed to be holy. And what does it say? The false gods with their trained warrior angels who delight in evil. Look at that. The false gods with their trained warrior angels who delighted in evil. When we come back to Judges, this is the Lord delighting in evil. And the children of Israel went up and wept before the Lord unto even, and asked counsel of the Lord, saying, shall I go up again to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother? And the Lord said, go up against them. And the children of Israel came near against the children of Benjamin the second day, inspired by the Lord. And Benjamin went forth again against them out of Gibeah the second day, and destroyed down to the ground of the children of Israel again 18,000 men. All these drew the sword. So look at that. The Lord is delighting in evil. The false gods with their trained warrior angels who delight in evil. God is just sitting back watching you niggas get slaughtered. God, the Lord, your Lord, told the children of Israel to go to battle with Benjamin, and Benjamin slaughtered 18,000 of the Israelites. You ain't questioned the Lord after that? Nigga, I would have abandoned the goddamn Lord after this battle. But what happened next? Let's see. And then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came unto the house of God and wept and sat there before the Lord and fastened that day unto even and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. Look at that. The Israelites lost 18,000 men and they ran back to the house of God and they wept again. They wept right here. They wept. What did the OAHSPE say? But there are some who are below the grace who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy. If you're weeping, you're unhappy. The false gods who delight in their trained warrior angels who delight in evil are making others unhappy. Huh? They weep before the house of God. And if you notice, look, it says unto the house of God, but then they switched and used Lord. They got God. Why did they say before the God? See that? Then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came unto the house of God and wept and sat there before the Lord and fastened that day unto evening and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. Now, we already described what encompasses the burnt offerings. Look, it said they offered burnt offerings. Huh? What is the process of burnt offerings? What is the process of burnt offerings? Huh? What entails burnt offerings? Let's get it. Let's get what entails burnt offerings. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, if any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of cattle, even of herds, of the flock. So they bring in animals. Look. If his offering be a what? A burnt offering. What did the verse say right here? What did it say in Judges? Burnt offerings? What did it say here? If his offering be a burnt offering of herd, let him offer a male without blemish, and he shall offer it on his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. Now keep in mind, we already exposed who this tabernacle is. We showed you right here the tabernacle is the tabernacle of Moloch. Huh? So when we come back to Judges now, and they offering this burnt offering, who they really offering it to? What house of God they talking about? What Lord they talking about? Goddamn Moloch. That's why Moloch got you niggas getting 18,000 niggas slaughtered. You worshiping Moloch. You're giving these burnt offerings to Moloch. This is the burnt sacrifice. This is what when them 18,000 niggas got killed, they ran back to the house of God and said, yo, they started bringing up males without blemish, bullocks, goats. They started bringing all this shit to the Lord. But guess what? This ain't the Most High. They said, what if his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd? Let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it on his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. See, that's the same Lord we're talking about in Judges, right there. But then this Lord that we're talking about in Judges is Moloch. Moloch exposed who the Lord is. And not only that, we got the depiction of the Lord in real time. Right here. Right there and all that. Moloch. That's who Israel was worshiping. When them 18,000 niggas fell and they ran to the house of God to do burnt sacrifice and offerings, the false gods is who they worshiping. So Judges 20 right here, when it says, then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came unto the house of God and wept and sat there before the Lord and fastened that day until even and offered burnt offerings and the peace offering before the Lord. Nigga, this how it looked right here, family. That's what's going on. That what I just read fit perfectly with this description. It said they came back. Let me get it. They came back. It says what? It says all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came unto the house of God and wept. This is that right here. Look at all the Israelites. They coming before the nigga. They weep. Look, they on their knees. They weeping. They weeping. They offering up their goddamn child as a sacrifice for the protection of this false god Moloch. They have bore the tabernacle of your Moloch. This is Moloch. And the wars of the children of Israel and Benjamin, that's who they were offering their goddamn children to. Huh? And all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came unto the house of God and wept and sat. Look, and sat before the Lord. What they doing right here? Look at that right there. They kneeling down. They sitting. They sat. Look at these niggas right here. They down. Look what they got in their hands. This is what the Israelites was doing before the Lord. The Lord was in their presence. It wasn't no goddamn nothing there. It wasn't a chair and nobody there. They praying to some invisible mother. No. There you go. This is the description. This is what they telling you. It stated what? They sat there before the Lord. This is a description of them niggas sitting there before the Lord. A description of these niggas sitting before the Lord. Look at this one. A description of these niggas offering before their Lord. In this case, is an idol. They're idols. They're false gods. See that? And what did they do? And fastened that day until evening. And offered what? What did they offer? Burnt offerings and peace offerings. Now we showed you what the burnt offerings is. That's what we was explaining here. The burnt offerings. The process that goes into the burnt offerings. The law of burnt offerings and sacrifice. And what they got to do. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, if any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herbs and of the flocks. If his offering be a what? A burnt offering. What does it say? Burnt offerings of the herb, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it on his own voluntary will at the door of what? The tabernacle. What tabernacle? Nigga, the tabernacle of Moloch. I almost exposed it. Coming back. of the congregation before the Lord. Of the congregation before the Lord. God damn it, this is a congregation of niggas before the Lord. What? Oh, I ain't got that picture. I scrolled down already. All right. Let's skip down to the bullock. This is what they now keep in mind. This is what they're doing because in Judges they just lost. They just lost 18,000 niggas. So now they're offering animals as a sacrifice to their God. And this is how they're doing it. And he shall kill the bullock before the Lord. Keep in mind, all this is being done before the Lord. The Lord is present. The idols is present. And the priest Aaron's son shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood around about the altar. That is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So this is another interesting point. If these niggas is offering, if the children of Israel is offering a burnt offering, the question needs to be asked, is the Levitical priesthood carrying out the offering? Because it says the priests of Aaron's sons shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood round about the altar that is by the tabernacle of the congregation. But in Judges, we talk about the children of Israel. And we know that, Benjamin, Levi, and Judah is the southern tribes, and the rest of the tribes is in the north. So if these are the children of Israel, which would be considered the northern tribes, how can they offer a burnt offerings without the priesthood of Aaron? Or the peace offerings? Ooh-wee-wee, bad drop. Huh? The children of Israel are supposed to be the northern tribes, right? Huh? But the Benjamites supposed to be part of the southern tribes with Judah and Levi. So that's just a question that needs to be asked. If the children of Israel are offering sacrifice in Judges 20:26 before the Lord, the question needs to be asked. Is the priesthood of Aaron carrying out these sacrifices? Because how can, hypothetically speaking, if the Levites is rocking with Judah and goddamn and Benjamin and Levi, if they down there in the south, how are these niggas gonna miraculously just appear in the north with the children of the northern tribes and I ain't gonna fight y'all niggas right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do this burnt offering for y'all niggas since y'all getting y'all ass whooped. Then I'm gonna run back down south and I'm gonna act like this shit never happened, and then we're gonna go back to war. Come on, that shit ain't making no sense. So the question need to be asked: who was performing the burnt offerings and peace offerings of the northern tribes? Because the children of Israel is the northern tribes. Ooh wee wee. So again, and he shall kill the bullock before the Lord, and the priest Aaron's son shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood round about upon the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle and of the congregation. And he shall flay the burnt offering and cut it into his pieces. And Aaron's son, the priest, shall put fire upon the altar and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priest, Aaron's son, shall lay the parts, the head, and the fat in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. Now keep in mind, the children of Israel is doing all of this right after 18,000 men just died right here. 18,000 men just died, and the following day, they over here offering burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And this is the proceeding of how it's done. Huh? This all this shit what I'm reading is what they're doing after 18,000 of their people drop. But his inwards and his legs shall ye wash in water, and the priest shall burn all on the altar, a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet Savior unto the Lord. See that? Unto the Lord. Let me get it where it's right there. Hold up. Right here. This verse right here. There we go. But he shall wash the inwards and the legs with water, and the priest shall bring it all and burn it upon the altar. And it is a what? It is a what? A burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet Savior unto the Lord. This is what the northern tribes was doing when they came weeping before God, weeping before the house of God. They offered up a burnt offering and a peace offering. That's what they did. And the Lord is enjoying it by what? As a sweet Savior unto the Lord. He doing this. The Lord just watched 18,000 of your men died. And then you niggas came and offered up a bullock as a burnt offering. And this bullock is a sweet savior unto the Lord. And you niggas ain't questioning the God yet? Y'all niggas that them down? Right here, this is what they doing. They're offering right here. This is the sweet savior offered to the Lord. This is them weeping, bowing down till evening. That's what's going on with the house of Israel and Judges. They're worshiping a false God, thinking they're worshiping the Creator, and they got them defiling the land. Coming back to the OAHSPE where it says, but there are some who are below the grades who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy, who delight in crime and pollution, just like your fake-ass false God we just read. And then we come back to the book of judgment. That's why the OAHSPE got a book of judgment, because it's judgment rendered against you fake niggas and you false gods. It states what? The false gods have their trained warrior angels who delighted in evil. And we just showed you how your Lord God delighted in evil by allowing the children of Israel to be decimated, genocidal killings of 18,000 men in a day, and them same niggas ran back to the Lord, weeping, giving burnt offerings and sacrifice, hoping to get a victory. And you niggas think that's the Most High, while the OAHSPE is letting you know, hook, line, and sinker, these are false gods assuming to be creator. Backdrop. The false gods with their trained warrior gods, with their trained warrior angels who delight in evil. And what they can do? Let me read it from the top. No, man, let me just read this part. That's the highlight. That's the body of what we're talking about. The false gods with their trained warrior angels who delight in evil could cast mortals in death by poison and suffocation. This the shit that these goddamn gods is doing, and these are the same gods you want to follow. These the same gods you want to follow who over here decimating niggas, who delight in evil. Let me get another precept real quick. I think this is in the book of judgment too. Let me see, hold up. Those, and keep in mind, these are the behavior of those below the grades. Keep in mind. But there are some who are below the grades. Keep in mind, we're talking about the sacrifices, the servants, and the others. Below, this is grade 1, below the grades. So what is below the grade? Because you can't go below the earth. So when it says below the grades, meaning that in the lowest grade, you're doing evil, delighting in evil, crime and pollution. You're doing these things instead of ascending and resurrecting, trying to rise up in the grades. Instead of doing that, you're what? Below the grades. But there are some who are below the grades. And how do you tell those below the grades? You know how you could tell? Because you got niggas out here who seek to do evil. You got people out here who seek to make others unhappy. And you got people out here who delight in crime and pollution. Those are the people you could tell who are below the grades. So I know every one of us on here could look in the streets and know somebody in the streets who practice these activities right here we just read. And these are people who are below the grades. These are the people who are going to be in pie and oil heaven when they cross over. But look what it states right here. Look what it states. To serve others is to do good to others, to help them, to teach them, to give them joy and comfort. This is the service of Jehovah. This is the sacrifice of Jehovah. What is the sacrifice of Jehovah? To sacrifice yourself for others, to do good unto others. To sacrifice yourself to help them. To sacrifice your time to teach them. To sacrifice your time to give them joy and comfort. This is the service and sacrifice of Jehovah. But then what it states here? But there are some who are below the grades, who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy, who delight in crime and pollution. That's the behavior of your God and the children of Israel. See that? Y'all not the chosen. Y'all the chosen of a false God, not the creator. Let me go to the book of Judgment, chapter 4, real quick. We on fire tonight. We on fire tonight. Book of Judgment. Judgment is in chapter 4. Or chapter 3. Yes, family. Man, if I pull off this work, yeah. Give the people a job work still, you know. You got to give the people a job. Creator. We ain't following no false gods over here, man. We're trying to bring the people back to the creator, man. That's what Creator Gang is about, bringing the people back to the creator. Ain't no gangster shit going on over here. Ain't no killing going on over here. It's brotherly love over here. Yeah, if I watch them, as a precept. Now, as a precept to this right here, as a precept to this, where it states, but there are some who are below the grades, who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy, who delight in crime and pollution. Now, there's a precept to that in the book of Judgment, right here. Hold on, no, that's another right. Boom. All right, right here. Look, let's start off. But of those who are below grade 1, you remember? It states, but there are some who are below the grades. Now keep in mind now, we got 2 precepts, 2 verses, where it's describing the behavior and actions of angels that are below the grades. So I just read this one, but those who are below the grades, who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy, who delight in crime and pollution. But then, you see here, in the book of Judgment, chapter 4, verse 11, it states, but of those who are below grade 1. Look what it states about those who are below grade 1. But of those who are below grade 1, there are more than 6 billion, which compromises those angels who know nothing more than babies, though for the most part, they were full-grown adults as to earth life. Some are fetals, some are engrafters who dwell with one mortal during his lifetime and then engrafting themselves on another mortal during his lifetime, and so on, calling themselves reincarnated, and in fact, knowing no other heavens, but being disbelievers in the all-person and in my exalted kingdoms. See that? See that? Those are the ones below the grades. It says, look, those who are below grade 1, I have classified this day as drudges, because they have not left the earth and entered the first resurrection. This goes for your God. Your God is a drudge. He's a fallen angel. He's a false God, because he's delighting in Eve. He's delighting in all the satanic activities that you would classify as Satan. These are those below the grades. See, again, we're dealing with what? Those who are below grade 1. What did the top of this verse say? But of those who are below grade 1. What did the OAHSPE say here? But there are some who are below the grades. And your grade is dealing with this, your spiritual ascension. These are those below the grades, doing mischief and evil on the earth, while you got others trying to rise in the grades. Just like in school. Just like in school. When you in school, you got niggas who come to school to fight and don't want to do the classwork, disrupting the class. And then you got those in school who trying to get their education and get up out of there. See that? The false gods are the ones disrupting the classroom. The false gods is the one running around starting school fights and riots in the school. The false gods is the ones bringing goddamn AK-47s trying to kill students and teachers. That's the behavior of the false gods. School massacre shootings. That's the behavior of the false gods. Because if your God is over here allowing 18,000 men to die in a day, and you, the Lord, your God, is the one who sent out the command, nigga, you an evil ass God. You delighting in evil. You delighting in crime and pollution. See that? See that? Nigga, easy work. Easy fucking work. Easy goddamn work, nigga. Let's file. Easy work. Give me a 1 in the chat if you're getting this understanding. Easy work. Yes, family. It's a blood clot vibes. Easy work. It's a blood clot vibe. Yes, family. Vibes are gone. It's a blood clot vibe. Yes, family, we vibing out. It's a vibe shoot. You know how we do. We keep the vibe going. We keep the spirit lit. We keep the spirit lit. We get some drink. It's a fucked up vibes. Yes, family. Madeya, ya. Madeya, ya. You know what we do, man. Giving the people his truth. Yes, family, let's come in the chat, yes. Like I said, we just showing and proving. I want to explain, you know what I mean, the sacrifices. You got to question the gods even with the sacrifices. Because we showed you the sacrifices that came with the Bible. It came with bloodshed, split blood. When in Numbers 35 it says the defilement of blood defiles the land. And it cannot be cleansed from that. Then we showed you from the OAHSPE how the sacrifices, the servants and the others, and it does not require blood for your spiritual ascension. That's why we say question the gods. You gotta question the gods. Yes, family, we vibing out, yes? Yes, family, vibes are going. It's the vibes. So we showing and proving, we constantly show and prove, chapter and verse. That's what the show is called, according to the text, as it is written. Everything I showed you was scripture, chapter and verse. Nothing that I spoke of my own opinion. Chapter and verses from the Bible, and chapter and verses from the OAHSPE. And you can weigh the two to see which one requires blood and which one does not. Even in Jeremiah's day, he showed you that iron required blood. It survives. I don't believe nothing I can't see. I don't believe nothing I can't see. Watch this. Watch this. It survives, vibes. Now the brother said he don't believe nothing he can't see. Watch this. What does that say? This is the electromagnetic spectrum. This, what you see right here, is the range of visible light. He said he don't believe what he can't see. Well, what you can't see is the ultraviolet range, the X-ray, and the gamma ray. These range are invisible, outside of visible light, what you cannot see. And in the infrared and microwave and radio, these are wavelengths, long wavelengths that you cannot see outside of visible light. So when you say you don't believe what you cannot see, that just proves to us you don't understand science. You don't understand science, my brother. These are ranges these are ranges outside of visible light. See, you said visible light, what you could see. So what you could see, as far as what you want to see through your eyes, your bandwidth of visible light is 700 nanometers down here to 300 nanometers down here. This is the bandwidth of visible light. So when you say you don't believe what you cannot see, you're denying the existence of the ultraviolet, the X-ray and the gamma ray, and the infrared, the microwave, and the radio wave, which exist in reality. So just giving you a little lesson in science, you know what I mean? You got to be well versed when you come over here, when you make statements, because we can even address your folly. You feel me? It's a blood clot vibes. That's right, son. You bring them, we raise them. They don't know, we educate them. He said he don't believe, we just gave him actual facts. That's how we do over here. Drop back, bag drop. Like my nigga Malachi Maccabee say, bag drop. We gotta get an explosion, right? When you say that bag drop. Like bag drop. Put it with the explosion and shit. Matter of fact, I mean got some explosion. I gotta go find that shit. Your family. We're not taking you out of content. You know what I mean? We going by what you said. You said that. I just put perspective on what you said. Maybe you should word your words a little better next time. How about that? What you say, Selah? Biblical scholars, this way we will cut that up in quickness. Yeah, we drop that quick. So anybody not dealing with Christopher, I'm not talking to you on this, Christopher, but anybody who deny the spiritual world or deny the unseen, all you gotta do is pull out the electromagnetic spectrum. Like I say, there are three principal things in creation that you cannot escape. One is the electromagnetic spectrum, which is the vibrational frequency of everything in creation, seen and unseen. Next, you got the periodic table of elements, which is the physical manifestation of everything in creation, seen and unseen. And then you have the pH scale, which is the balance of life when you come to an inhabitable world. You cannot escape these things in creation. Those three things I just mentioned are principal things in creation. You cannot escape it. You cannot escape the periodic table of elements, because the periodic table of elements, everything in creation is based off the periodic table of elements. From nature to the cosmos, it's all based off the periodic table of elements. The sun is helium, carbon, hydrogen. You know what I mean? You are made up of elements. Nature is made up of elements. So you cannot escape the periodic table of elements. Everything in the creation has a vibrational frequency. That's why I pulled up the electromagnetic spectrum, because that is the vibrational frequency of everything in creation, seen and unseen. See what I'm saying? So we deal with signs of the creator over here. We investigate these things to prove it. We test it. And if that shit real, nigga, we rock with it. And the more we find more proof, we keep rocking with creator. Creator gang over here. Exactly, Selah. See, the sisters understand. The sisters been studying. They've been doing their homework in the OAHSPE and investigating creation on top of the subject matters they already been studying. Selah said, makeup of the body of creator. Yeah, the periodic table of elements is the physical makeup of creator's body. See, the creator is made up of two parts, seen and unseen. The unseen, which is the gaseous molecules of creation, the air, the ruach, the spirit. The unseen is responsible for making that which is seen. So all these periodic elements that you see in nature exist in a gas form. The unseen. The way these things come into being in creation, the OAHSPE explains, through the force and power of vortexing current. We explain that all the time. By the power and force of the vortex, the air is generated and precipitate the minerals to the center, and celestial bodies are formed. Creator shows us that. And the sisters understand this at this point. And I respect that too. You're right. Don't nobody know for real. But there is a time when you, the individual, have to look into creation and investigate creation with what you may already know and continue to investigate to make it make sense. You got to make it real. You here. You got the sun, moon, and stars, galaxies. We here. We can't go back. We can't go back into mama's womb and erase this shit. Creator got us here to investigate this shit. You're here to investigate creation, to learn creator, not religion, not to sit up on not to watch the false God sit on the throne and you got to sit there by his feet saying holy, holy, holy all day. The Creator created us to investigate creation, and by investigating creation, we investigating Creator. And that's just the science aspect of it. You know, you got the moral aspect, the principle, the commandments, the statutes, the behaviors. You know what I mean? So outside of creation, you deal with this, it's the principle things as well. It survives. So I don't know everything. I ain't never been to the other side. I ain't never died and came back to know nothing. You know what I mean? But at the same, it's like a roadmap. See what I'm saying? These books that we call the Bible, the OAHSPE, the Quran, all these are roadmaps and guides to the spiritual world. You see what I'm saying? It's just like if we on a road trip and we're trying to get to California and we don't have a goddamn guide, we don't have a map. Nigga, we can start going north and be going towards New York when we're supposed to be going west towards California because we've been misguided because we don't have a roadmap. But if you got that roadmap, you're going to say, oh, okay, it's guiding us this way. This is the way to California based off what? The roadmap. The books, the holy books are the roadmaps. Some roadmaps is going to lead you this way. Some roadmaps is going to lead you this way. And then some roadmaps are going to lead you to the Creator. The OAHSPE is a roadmap that's directing us to the Creator. It's not directing us to a God. It's not directing us to a Lord. It's not directing us to a Savior. It's directing us to a Creator. You see what I'm saying? So it's levels to this shit. It just depends on where your level of inspiration and knowledge is at. And we got to increase the learning. We can't stop. We can't think that, oh, this is the final revelation and there's the end. We can't think that the Bible is the end revelation and then ain't no other book coming. When you do that, then look, here comes another book. Like, let's go to the book of Judgment chapter 5 real quick. Let's go to the book of Judgment chapter 5 verse 20. Watch this. Book of Judgment chapter 5 verse 20. Book of Judgment chapter 5 verse 20. Book of Judgment chapter 5 verse 20. Look at this. Look what it say right here, King. Look. See? It says, do not think that this book is my only revelation in this day within your house, O Israel. See that? So he say, like, yo, don't think this Bible is the only revelation. Yo, bro, you don't even know to have. This is what true God's saying to you right here. Do not think that this book is my only revelation in this day within your house, O Israel. You shall prepare for the voice of your God. See that? Look, for I will raise up many seers and prophets among your people, Israel, and they shall testify to my words on all sides. And that's what we're doing. We are Israelites testifying about the Creator, naming the OAHSPE, the book of the name of the Creator is Jehovah. You know, Jehovah is Yahweh. We ain't telling you nothing different. We're clearing up the fact that in the OAHSPE, Yahweh is letting you know that Creator is who He is. He's not a God. He's not a deity. He's not an angel. He's the all in all, the ever present. But these false gods assume to be that in the image of man, and we've been baffled for that long. He says, judge not, do not judge, O Israel, as to who are apostate before your God. I say to you, he who forsakes Jehovah's, he who forsakes Jehovah and worship Mammoth and the ways of the world is an apostate in my sight. For even though they maintain the rites and ceremonies, they have forsaken the spirit of the truth of my commandments. So you have a lot of Israelites out here that are what? Every year they what? They maintain the rites and ceremonies. They maintain the Passovers every year, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. They do all that. But what they have done, they have forsaken the spirit of truth. Because we're bringing truth. We're bringing truth to the table. But you have forsaken it, trying to maintain these old rites and ceremonies, thinking you're following the God when you're following the tabernacles of Moloch. Huh? What you're trying to maintain is the goddamn tabernacles of Moloch, the priesthood of Aaron. And it states, whereas many who have forsaken the rites and ceremonies in search of higher law and higher light are more to the ways of Jehovah. And that's us. We're not following them old rites and ceremonies no more. We don't expose who that is. And we in search for higher light. And in the search for higher light, Creator gave us the OAHSPE. And you see the higher light in the OAHSPE. That's why we ask for these debates. So we can show you how the OAHSPE is a book not to be reckoned with. And look what it states. Throw open your doors, O Israel. My angels stand at the threshold. These my words which I have told to you beforehand shall be corroborated by hundreds of thousands of witnesses from my heavens. See that? They're talking to Israel in the OAHSPE. They letting you rise up, nigga. We the Israelites. And look who brought this motherfucker to the forefront, nigga. A goddamn Israelite by the name of Selah Shalom. Nigga, I brought this shit to the forefront, just like what the OAHSPE say. You was the chosen back then, nigga. You still the chosen. You just ran off following false gods. But now, nigga, we trying to bring you to return to the creator. Under the same name, Yahuwah, nigga, we ain't changed. Ain't nothing changed. Only thing changed is that we exposing these false gods who assume to be creator, and those the gods you niggas is up under. And you scared to make the change because this shit came through a goddamn who you call a white man. But Judge, I don't give a fuck about none of that. What it stay right here? Seek for the resurrection of your soul, O Israel, so Jehovah may be glorified in you forever and forever. Nigga, that's us, baby. That's us, baby. OAHSPE talk about the children of Israel, and we still the chosen, nigga. We gonna bring this revelation to the forefront. Bitch, we brought this revelation to the forefront, nigga. OAHSPE been around since the 1880s, but social media roll around close to 200 years later, nigga. Bam. Internet hit, bam. Who brought the shit to the internet? A nigga claiming to be an Israelite, seeking higher light outside of what you know is your rites and ceremonies of the Leviticus priesthood, nigga. You know what I mean? Your boy Selah Shalom fulfilling prophecy out this motherfucker. It's a blood clot vibes. Run the rhythm. The spirit has no melanin. Well, melanin is carbon-based, and carbon is an element that is found in the solid, liquid and gas forms. So, and then even in the heavenly kingdom, keep in mind, melanin is present. Let me remind you, beloved. Let me show you how melanin is present. You know I'm surgical with this bitch, Jay. Now, let me show you real quick, though. Show you how melanin is spiritual. Let me show you how melanin is spiritual, beloved. Just a lesson. Check this out, right? That's a good question, though. He said the spirit has no melanin, grow past color. All right, well, let me show you something. Let me give you some knowledge. So look what it states right here in the book of Cosmology and Prophecy. It says the same principles apply to all stars, sun, planets, and moons, but differing in manifestation and size, motion, density, and relative places. Now check this out. This is the periodic table of elements, right? And carbon is a part of this, right? Look what Jehovah say. Observe, O man, as a farm sows corn in one place, wheat in another, and flax in yet another, everything in a separate place. Look what it states. Even so does Jehovah store the ingredients of which worlds are made, everything in its place. The substance of iron in one place, the substance of stone in another, the substance of vegetables, kingdom in another, and likewise for the substance of animals, kingdoms, the oils, the sands, for he has places in the firmament of heaven for all of them. And carbon is part and parcel of that as well. These that those saw are the Jaya, the Aja, and the Nebula. And amidst them, in the midst and places, there is Simu also. See that? See that? Herein is found iron, copper, granite, water, lead, clay, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and of course carbon would be there, and various other kinds of corporeal substance as known on earth. And besides these, millions of them not known on the earth. And ether holds them in solution. See that? Even in the same way that the air holds the substance of clouds, which is water in solution. And as some clouds are so rarefied to be imperishable, with others are opaque and even black, so are the comparative conditions of what? Etheria. So spirit is melanin based because the minerals that make up creation follow the same rules on a physical plane and a spiritual plane. The only difference is that you're moving at a faster vibrational frequency in spirit. The vibrational frequencies of the atmosphere is moving faster, but it's still the same mineral content. Even when you read the OAHSPE, when it talks about these heavenly kingdoms, roads of gold. See that? This is in heaven now. They're talking about roads of gold, but we have gold down here as well. Even in the book of Revelation, when they give you the description of the Messiah, it describes him as being the color of copper burnt in the furnace. It's giving you, and this is supposed to be an angel. So we're not stuck on color. We're dealing with reality. We're dealing with nature and cosmology, seen and unseen. See that? Yeah. So let's not see. Let's keep it. Let's keep it. Yeah, keep it interesting. Right. Interesting. Exactly. I know this OAHSPE, bro. So when I say things, I'm not speaking on a racist level or on a prejudice level. I'm speaking scientifically. That's why I always go back to the basic principles of science, the table of elements. Because the reason I'm brown skinned is because of copper and copper. The reason Europeans are European is the lack of carbon in the skin. That's it. The recessive gene is the lack of carbon. The proof of that is like, look at charcoal. Like I said, I deal with science, so it don't have to be offensive. Look at charcoal. Oh, yeah, charcoal. Yes, family. You know what I mean? Show you something. All this shit is science, never personal. So this is carbon right here. Like this is carbon right here, right? This is carbon. This is the same carbon that is responsible for your skin color, your hair texture. The reason why your hair is black is because it's carbon. If you have black and brown eyes, it's carbon based. Your skin is carbon based. The blacker the skin is the reason you have a high concentration of carbon. So Africans that got dark skin is because they have a high concentration of carbon in the skin. Europeans who do not have a high concentration of carbon, the recessive is like when you burnt this. When you burn charcoal, it turns what? It turns pale. See that right here? When you burn this dark charcoal and you strip the negative electrons out the carbon atom, it turns pale. It turns translucent like this here. So when you burn a charcoal, it'll turn pale. So this is like the black man and this is like the white man. The recessive gene is just a lack of carbon. So when carbon starts to, when the electrons of the carbon cell is stripped due to the fire, it's going to leave only the positive charged electron from the atom. It's gonna leave the positive charge on the skin, or on the carbon, I should say. It's the shifting of electrons. What I'm talking about is ionization. The greater electrons you have to a cell, in this case carbon, the greater, the darker the color would be. When you strip the electrons from the carbon cell, it's going to start to become pale. And fire is one thing that causes, just using this as an example of as far as carbon being skin color, and the reason why people have, or the European skin is the way it is based off of a lack of carbon, a lack of the electrons of a carbon cell. So it's scientific. It's all science. It's all science. It's nothing personal. It only becomes personal when you're following the God that tells you to hate another people based off a curse of Canaan, based off of, you know what I mean? In slavery, the slave master used the verse where what was it? Ham and Japheth. Ham shall be Canaan shall be a servant of a servant, a slave of a slave. And the slave master used that religion. The Israelites use today that they're the chosen of people and all other nations is below them, and that the white man is the devil. See, that's religion. What we deal with over here is cosmology and science, creator, and exposing the false gods through their religious deeds. These gods is who made you prejudice. The Europeans are prejudiced based off this religious book. Likewise with black folks. The Israelites don't like Europeans based off this book. So we exposing the false god to bring you back to the creator. When you come into the creator, you're dealing with science in creation. You don't see scientists getting mad at each other. You don't see science, I can't stand a nigga. You don't hear that in the science world. You dig? Run the rhythm. Yes, family, we're bringing the science out. We're bringing the science out and we're cutting the confusion so there'll be no confusion there. And that's real right there. That's real. I feel that. That's why I always like to use illustrations. Because that was me right there. Nigga, I had to learn through illustrations. You couldn't tell me no shit. I had to see it play out. You know what I'm saying? If we cannot put a physical picture on it, people get lost trying to think spiritual. That's real. That's real. That's why I always use illustrations to demonstrate my point. Because once you see it, it's objective now. If me saying it is subjective, it's like what I feel, what I'm saying. But if I can demonstrate it and show you something objectively, then you can own it now. You belong it. Because you see it play. Now you go tell somebody, like, yo, that's how it works. Because you see it play out. Objective learning, illustration, and graphs is the best teacher. That's real though. That's why I said your boy been doing this for a long time. That's why every time I break shit down, I make it to where you can understand. I make shit to where a baby can understand. You may not agree when I expose these biblical gods because you may be cahoots still with the Bible and their gods, and you still may have a soft spot for the Bible in your heart. But for people like me who season in this shit, I go hard. I don't give niggas no wiggle room to try to wiggle their way out when I start busting this book open and busting niggas' heads with the book. Ain't no wiggle room. That's why if I get into a debate and you give me time to give a presentation off a topic, it's going to be no wiggle room. Like my first rounds is always going to be a death blow and a knockout in the debate. Because I'm freestyling what we doing right here. This is all freestyle. Me and the brothers was chatting earlier and I said, yo, I'm about to go live. I ain't have no topic. But when I was about to go live, I said, you know, I'm going to touch on sacrifice. So all this is just freestyle. But let me goddamn put this shit in the organized format and present it in a debate against somebody on a particular topic. It's going to be a first round goddamn knock. They better go first. That's what I can say. They better go first because once I get in chapter and verse, hit niggas and give the illustrations, it's over. It's over. Because it's a blood clot fives. But you know what, family? I'm about to ride out. Your boy Selah Shalom been on for what? 2 hours and 50 minutes. It's always be a nice vibe vibing with the family. I think I'm going to get off for a little while. Go burn a thing or two. Go vibes out. See what's going on with the family. I mean, until then, we're going to ride out, family. Your boy Selah Shalom is out. Salute. Peace to the righteous gods and gods. Creator gang gang. You know how we do. Right now, you know, family.